Yeah, we do. I'm upset. I saw the cookout chair. I said, wait, they put my man Robin.
They did.
Because the comfortable like chair with all the back support makes noise. It's creaky as fuck. So we had to move that chair. But now they completely downgraded you to like the kids table chair.
Wait,
like,
but I ain't even gonna hold you. That is one of those chairs where a bitch be scared of one leg leaving. It's a motherfucking ride.
You gotta make sure you proportion your weight on it.
That's some new engineering too, because the one that we know and love is that white one. You know, that white plastic.
That white plastic chair.
I didn't see that hold up some
definitely
bodies.
and it's got like 1 or 2 cigarette burns in it on the side on the little armrest.
I ain't sitting in it.
I don't believe that it's been there as long as it needed to be.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Now looking at Rob sit in this chair, you know what?
We're gonna have to get you. We gonna upgrade you. We gonna upgrade you for Christmas, Rob. This is unacceptable.
So much better. This is unacceptable. I'm actually scared. My heart drops. The anxiety.
I'm gonna talk to Dev. I'm gonna talk to Dev about this. We're gonna have to put a chair that says, "See, the thing is for Rob. Nobody else allowed to use it."
He's in the spades chair at the cookout. Like, you know, when you just gotta bring everybody around the
spades chair.
Them chairs withstand domestic dispute, all kind of shit. Them chairs.
That's the one when you get up, that shit automatically fall back.
Yes, it does.
Automatically.
Yes,
you
it
stand
does.
up, that shit
Right.
fall back and look like you want to fight.
I feel so bad he's sitting in that chair. We gonna get you.
We gonna get you right, Rob.
Yeah,
next week. I'm not gonna let you.
Else.
We're not gonna continue in season 2 with this mediocrity.
Nah, I can't stop looking at the
chair. The chair is wild. Wild. Well, you know what, y'all? It's the 20th anniversary. This is how we start in this week's pod, y'all. It is See the Thing Is.
Yeah, man.
We here again, episode 62.
I mean, we need to introduce our lovely guests in this for this intro because
we're gonna introduce them.
Our friends with benefits, Dustin is here,
That's
y'all.
right.
No,
so happy to be
here.
And we're all hustlers, right?
Yeah.
We are all hustlers, but
we celebrating today.
This is
20th anniversary of Wayne.
In our conversation beforehand, this is really the song that we all love.
It is though.
Okay.
If we're honest.
It is still the top of the week, y'all. Go ahead. It's also the top of the month, so y'all just paid rent. So I don't know if money is on your mind or not.
I mean, it is because it's not in the account now. Now we paid all the fucking bills, so now we got to start again.
Yep.
Shit, I hate that shit.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it. But no, this also makes me feel hella old. That this is 20. It's 20 years old. 20?
Yeah, I'll be feeling old now too. The minute they start sampling the songs that was popular when we was,
look,
you know,
we already had that moment.
Yeah, so
shout out to Capella because we definitely Gallus came on and Mandii and I both looked at each other in the club like, bitch, you better drop it low to Juvenile because we about to put on for the 99s and the 2000s and it was not the 99s or the 2000s.
Then Capella hopped in my comments like, well, I'm making a classic now, and I'm like, all right, Capella.
So bring your classic timeless ass to the podcast.
I know that
because you were supposed to come and you missed your flight.
And didn't show up.
And didn't show up
they
for
must have
us.
seen that girl beefing with her. Yeah, must have ran into her ass again. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. The city is your palace, so mosey on down, honey. Mosey on down.
Y'all, we are joined again with a Friends with Benefits. That's what you is.
That's right.
Dustin.
That's right.
Lots of
we
benefits.
almost. No, I'm just playing.
The benefits was almost different, huh?
We almost had a benefits package. Okay. Fuck with me on the weekend. Shit. All right.
Listen, the way we be drinking, you just never fucking know. But if you guys are unfamiliar with that of Dustin Ross, he is one half of another, your co-host that we've had here, Ebony K. Williams, the Holding Court podcast. He is also 1/3 of the Friend Zone.
Yes.
And we've had Asante as a Friends with Benefits on our Patreon.
And we love you too, friend, but you
don't went to the motherfucking West Coast like everybody else.
Left us.
Everybody want to go out west, man.
Left us outside alone with our palms up. We just looking at it like,
friend.
Yes.
No, but everybody is moving out west, and it's crazy because
we're not.
I guess. Well, in our catch up, bitch, don't say that because we was in LA all week, and the whole time, every day, Bridget's like, maybe we could just come out here, every other month or so. Like, we should really be by coastal.
Let me tell you something about LA, right? LA, what I loved and learned and living in LA for a decade. What I loved about LA was the fact that you can literally take, when you're from New York, you take all of the elements, the hustle and grind elements, and go to a place like LA and rack up and run it up. That's what Mandii and I did in 3 days. We did 10 podcast episodes in 3 days.
We really did. I don't know how we did that. Wait, plus I had a live show.
And a live show.
Which, by the way, I guess, can I get into that real quick?
You definitely can. I just want to tell Dustin that we are definitely going back to LA because Girl, there's money in guests in LA. We going back to LA for work. We not moving, but we definitely gonna go there and run it up.
Bridget. I feel like I'm always gonna get my mail delivered in New York.
Yeah.
Okay, but there's a thing called project-based opportunity.
That's right.
And that will call my name.
Please put your friend on.
Oh, I definitely will.
I mean, I be when the check is there, but for me to go out there and I just am not a fan of LA.
Me either. I'm in and out.
For work,
in and
it's
out
great.
For work
It's great. We had an incredibly productive week, and we got a dope ass team in LA. Shout out to May.
And there's something to be said about switching them environments, right?
Yeah.
LA inspires you in a different way. You catch a vibe out there when everything is right, your company is right.
Yeah,
you know, you're in the amongst the right people. You just it's good to you. So LA is good. Listen, LA don't owe me nothing but a wet rag. Okay.
I mean, we decided to knock out a whole bunch of See the Thing Is work because my other podcast, Whorible Decisions, had a live show, and we haven't been out in LA in like 2 years because of the pandemic. Yeah, we weren't able to make our tour stop last year. Yep. And
it was definitely 2 years because Shireen said she went to the show in 2019.
Yeah. So 2020 we weren't able to have our show. It literally you know the world shut. So what's crazy is also I was with Dustin the day before New York shut down for good. We were on a rooftop smoking weed, and then I don't think you were crying, but I was. I was like, I realized I never felt love before, and the world is about to end.
I wasn't crying. I was laughing at you at that point.
I bet
his weed was so strong. Listen, I hit him the next day like, my nigga, what the fuck was in that weed? We're on the rooftop, and I'm crying to him like, I really thought the world was about to end.
We didn't know what the hell was going on.
And it was just scary.
It was scary. It was very scary.
But I ain't signed up to live through a panorama. That was not when I was born. You know what? I even thought about it. A bitch may have wanted to live through maybe a couple world wars over this pandemic. I ain't gonna hold you. No, I would have probably, no, because there was like really heavy racism back then, but
like now,
like I was gonna say, I mean, like now
we just see it on phones. But in terms of that, it just scared me to death. And again, whatever weed he had, like, brought out all of my emotions, which is probably why I got a fucking. A bitch was crying. No, but I had a live show. Let me go ahead and give myself a round of applause. Y'all know how I do.
Yeah, Mandii.
We giving me my own flowers, but we sold out this show. Yeah. I also want to give a huge shout out to Sharonis Jackson, who y'all can listen to on last week's Patreon, but also Kiki Palmer. Yes. Shout out to Kiki Palmer. She came up on stage. She's was great. So funny and
she's
cute.
like a Swiss Army knife of entertainment, right? Bitch, she do everything she do. You name it, she can do it. She does it all good. That's the thing.
That's a perfect description for her, actually.
Everything. Yeah. At the end of the show, it's crazy too because, and I know I've talked to you as an artist about just the energy of rooms. You as well do live shows, and it was one of those shows that at the very end, as I was thanking everybody, like my eyes welled up, like the energy in the room. I was like, this feels so good, and just literally from the moment we stepped on stage to the very end, the crowd was very interactive. They laughed. All of our jokes landed.
Love like that, that's LA.
It was amazing. And then one of the things else, like in terms of potting, I know like you guys listen to us at your work, in your truck with your friends. I guess you could kind of listen to this one around your kids if you want.
Not this week.
Not the other one. Oh, maybe not. Fuck them kids is what Dustin said.
It's definitely fuck them kids over here.
Fuck them kids. No, but
yo, that forever now.
It's a Ray
forever now. Okay. Forever now.
But we never really know in podcasting how much we touch people and how much we change their lives, because we really sit here and we talk about our experiences and talk about the current events, and we bring up music, and we just really talk about from our own perspective on things. And at the very end of the show, we don't do meet and greet, but we'll stay on the stage as people come up and take pictures. And one of probably the most touching things happened to me last year during Thanksgiving. I decided for the people that follow me on Instagram, I said I want to help provide meals and groceries to families on Thanksgiving that need it. So I had a lot of families like DM me. I didn't want the business out there, but DM me and email me, and I chose 5 families. Shout out to the Dough app as well. Victor, the creator of that, matched me. So we ended up feeding about 10 families last year.
Wonderful.
But instead of sending money to people, because that's just a thing, I have problems with giving money because I don't know where it's going towards. So I was like, send me your grocery list, whatever's on it. I'll purchase it through Instacart. So Instacart, for those of y'all who do not know, this is also not an ad, but but
it should be the way she's been spending money with them.
I spend,
being honest.
Instacart, it's cool. And it just delivers your groceries straight to your door, which was needed at that time because COVID.
Right.
COVID. So this woman came up to me and she was like, hey, I just want to let you know you fed my family last year through Instacart. And she said, you don't know what you did, but that changed my life. She was like, last year I couldn't feed my family, and this year I'm making 6 figures with Instacart.
She went and got a job with Instacart.
Didn't even know, wasn't familiar. Like,
Brilliant.
when I tell you, I just looked at her, my heart dropped, and she was like, so I just want to thank you. I knew she had kids. She had 3 kids, and I remembered her, and she was like, yes, and we're out of our situation, and she was like, it's because of you, so I just want to thank you. And I was just like,
and her family, that's dope.
Yeah.
You just never know. And so the idea that it came full circle like that, and I maybe spent $120 on her groceries, and maybe just her not knowing the app and seeing that whatever she did for that now to transpire, you just never know.
Niggas need $2.
Right.
It might be the push they need.
You
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you just, when you do that from your heart and you have good intentions, it makes it worthwhile.
Yeah, no,
so
it was amazing. It just lets, I think all of us know, and even in the space where Bridget's like, whoa, this year, as an artist, she kept to herself, and here she's, in
the front of the line.
Totally in the front of the line. And
Totally
again,
different.
even the way you speak, I know that you see the tweets, but you drop gems and change people's maybe trajectory in their relationships or the security and how they feel about themselves just with your word every week. So I appreciate that. And if y'all don't know Dustin, y'all stomachs are about to hurt. You about to have abs at the end of
the time. We just gonna have a good time. That's all.
I guess one of the other things.
I know you were in LA too, right?
Yeah.
I was in LA.
Partying.
Yeah.
Couldn't even get a hold of you. You was working.
Partying. But because why else am I gonna show up? But I went for work. I can just say that. Went for work, so I had a very productive week out there.
Yeah.
I love LA. I love what it has to offer, the promise it has, you know, with the kind of work that we do. And now I got right out that motherfucker. I'm back in the New York groove. You know what I'm saying?
You were like, this was fun. It's cute.
It was fun. I'm out, in and out, like a drive-through.
I also had a good time. Bridget, again, just always constantly wanting to show love. We pulled up to the India Sean
I love India so much.
Shout out to India,
Shout out to India.
Shout out to
so great
India's
to see
moment.
her.
It was
Shout out to
beautiful.
She's just so dope. That's a very deserving talent.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Shout out to India.
Yeah, we did it, and we did a really great freshly squeezed interview. We had a good conversation about her being a teacher and and a musician simultaneously. And I went and worked in a restaurant a few years ago just because I needed money. There was no money coming in, and I needed a job, and so there was there was really no reservations. And she's such a beautiful artist, man. She's so great. And D-Mile, we ran into D-Mile. We shout out. We talk about D-Mile every week, and I was like, yo, the man, the myth, and the legend, man. We gotta get in. So
yeah, if y'all haven't yet, like I said, get into India Sean. It was amazing too. This song right here is featuring Black, who actually came out. Also, Anderson .Paak came out. So it was, and she was the opener.
That's a
and
lot
I
of
was
talent
like,
in the room.
shit.
India Sean, Black, and Anderson
.Paak. And then she opened up for Mayor Hawthorne.
Mm-hmm.
Dope.
It was just really good seeing the people. I really also enjoy people seeing Bridget, and everyone knew exactly what she was doing. Is like, I want to support it. You're doing great. Like so even to just be on another coast and people that I know that she knows, like,
it hits different.
I was just like, but everyone just respecting even the pivot that she's done.
Well, also, I mean, people in general, that they're still, I think the one thing about our industry that a lot of people don't do well that Mandii does incredibly well is cultivate relationships. Yeah. And so I've always had relationships with people in the music industry, but have not been able to really catapult them and really leverage them in any way other than being an artist myself. Yeah. So now that I'm in a position where it's like I'm still creative, so the respect factor is still there, but it's also I'm now able to, I'm in a different position to be able to all right, cool. When your artist comes to New York or whatever, if we're out in LA, let's set something up. They come on the pod. Different. They do. Yeah, it's really dope to be in a space and be working and partnered with somebody that understands also the importance of being in people's faces and being there. Like, as much as she hates LA, being in LA is going to be incredibly lucrative for us because there's going to be no one else that's going to be able to do. But also, there's going to be there's no one else in the space that's going to do what we're doing. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes. I know the value in what Mandii brings. I know the value that I bring. Yep. And there's no one that is really, I don't even want to say compete because I don't think anyone's competing with us, but there's no one that's going to really provide and expand and create space for what we're trying to do.
Yep, so tell them hosts, move over.
Yeah, but it's not only that. Like, I mean, the fact that and again, please join our Patreon.
Yes.
We have some really dope content coming, but in the space that she's been from the transition of an artist hosting on TV and now doing the pod, but all the in between jobs, she sat with not only India Shawn for a Freshly Squeezed episode that y'all will hear coming soon, but also Estelle. Yeah. And it was just like the relationship that she could have and speak to these women. I think that that's one of the things. We have the B-Dots and Elliott Wilsons. We have Joe still sitting with people. We have the Charlemagnes, but really I told her like where she can go and the relationships that she's had in this industry and how she can relate to them. Yeah. That's really where I want to push her to really sit down with these female artists, because the men could sit down with them, but it's not the same. It's
that
different.
Lived experience, when you have a similar lived or shared lived experience with somebody, that'll kick the door open every fucking time.
Every time.
Every time.
Yep.
So you think they ain't gonna sit down when you telling Bridget Kelly want to talk about the ups and downs of being in the industry and what it was like? They're gonna be sitting down, smoothing their clothes out,
and life shit. Talking life shit. I think that's a beautiful thing for where we are in life even right now.
Oh damn, it's mine. Okay.
Yeah, I poured you a glass.
I got a little glass of wine for you. Yeah.
Well, I really don't drink wine. I'm a liquor nigga.
I know, but the way it's early. The way it's early.
Now when have I gave a damn?
Listen,
Mandii. I mean,
but
Mandii and I.
do wine here.
Cheers.
Mandii and I were drinking tequila and Jameson at 10 a.m. in LA. Let me not even act like.
I'm not.
We're not even gonna act like we're that like, oh my god, wine, because it's a little bit later in the morning. Like, nah.
Show,
I mean, Mandii and I be with the shits when it's time to do it.
We were on set for 8 hours.
You needed that drink.
We did. We were on
drink.
set for 8 hours. We did 5 pods. We had guests coming in and out. We were coordinating with a whole new team.
Yeah.
Whole new set and studio to the where after I was like, bitch, I'm going to sleep. A bitch was exhausted. I was tired. I was like, nah, we're not doing that. But one of the things also, I did enjoy going to the India Shawn concert, but we did miss Versuz. So I kind of wanted to start there because I went over to Bridget's house. Y'all know Sunday dinner.
We always do. We neighbors. We across the street. So it's a family affair every Sunday night.
So we watched Versuz. Did you get a chance to watch Versuz?
You know I did, and I was pissed because I was in LA that Thursday, and me and Mandii actually went to that Versuz with Gyro and Fat Joe.
Yes.
I remember.
So it's like a thing. So like I want to go again because we had so much fun at Versuz. It's the best concert ever because the songs are so short.
Right.
So it's like in and out.
But you're getting everything that you need. Yeah, that's how I felt with
in and out. That's how you do? Just that quick? And then it's done?
And then it's done.
See, this is wild. I can't. Wow. Pause, but not pause because okay.
But I was so upset because I was in LA and I'm like, damn it, I could have gone but it just wasn't on my radar. I was focused on work, whatever. Right. But I did, shout out to my best friend Gary. I was over Gary's house and we watched it and we was having a good time.
I know that's right.
I enjoyed it.
You enjoyed it? Who did you have winning?
3 6 Mafia.
Okay, so I'm a huge Bone Thugs fan. It's crazy because I
know Mandii was playing a bunch of songs and I was like, how do you know these? How you were
I
2?
Love Bone
I was young.
Like Mandii was really.
Don't do this. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. So what's crazy is I remember even in elementary school, because yes, the bitch is young. When like when they ask you all those things at the end of the year, like the favorite book for this year, your best friend, and all that. One of the things was your favorite song. Crossroads for the longest was my favorite song. I don't know why. Listen,
I'm trying to tell you.
She was in first grade.
That was a word.
She was in first grade.
Her little 6-year-old song.
She was at the crossroads at 6 years old.
She had a lot on her mind.
The way it touched my heart.
Decisions, chocolate milk or apple juice. You know what I'm saying? You had a lot on your mind.
Listen.
Yes.
So Crossroads, and I also shared when we talked about this Versuz that Thuggish Ruggish Bone was my MySpace song.
That was also her MySpace song.
First of all, they brought her out.
They
I ain't even got to say her name. I just got to say her.
Because
you know who I'm talking about. Jatasha.
They did.
At the end of the song.
The fact that she sounded so good. But we are against those thugs. Why did she sound so good? But was it her? The mics weren't on, and we're going to talk about that too.
The mics weren't on the first half, but at the end, when the music was over, Sis was going. She gave what she needed to give. She did.
I was standing up. Okay, I know I was standing up. I was happy to see her too. Just the fact that I didn't give a damn what she sounded like. To be honest with you, the fact that they was able to push her out on that stage like that.
I love that.
I thought it was cool. Every Versuz, I feel like I learned something too about the artist. Yeah. Like if I didn't know, like even though I I don't know that many Bone Thugs songs.
Yeah.
They were in LA and they were introduced, they were put on by Eazy-E.
Yep.
So they have an incredible like sense of loyalty and belonging in LA, which I thought was really dope too.
I thought that was dope. I think we really saw two things in terms of Bone Thugs. Yeah. Black men age gracefully and good as Christ. Them niggas could do the Crossroads video now and look the exact goddamn same.
They have not been at the crossroads of skin or wrinkles. They have been there's been no crossroads at all. They're all thriving, flourishing.
They are thriving and flourishing. I would like to see a pumice stone introduced to the beauty regimen.
Don't do that. All right.
A couple of them.
Who's
I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? A little exfoliation could help us all. You know what I'm saying? So I would like that to be introduced to their process.
They were looking good.
They all looked good.
I was happy to see them too. I think that's what you said. I was happy to see them too.
I actually had the opportunity to see them live in Orlando. This was probably in 2012. Wow. I used to know their drummer, and so he got me to. I said, I love Bone Thugs, and I probably didn't know.
Bone.
And so I got to see them live, and it was a phenomenal show. Something else that I also realized in the performance as well last night is that light-skinned niggas still feel like they gotta prove themselves. And Busy.
You think that's what you think that was?
That's not what that was.
I don't know. Listen. That was. Okay, so there was a lot of things. So first off,
because Lazy was hugging and embracing everybody every 15 seconds. He wasn't throwing nothing at nobody.
Lazy got a little bit more melanin and he had a pick in his head. So therefore, with
Lazy had a couple things. I know y'all seen Crunchy Black telling him hello on that stage.
Sure did.
Lazy had a couple things.
For sure. In terms of Busy, it's odd because as a fan, clearly that was the nigga that came in and out, but also in his stage presence, you could tell he really think he the Beyonce.
Not even Beyonce. He was giving David Ruffin energy.
Oh yeah,
he was giving big. Y'all can't do this without me. I am the Temps. Like that was what it was giving.
And to be honest with you, as a Bone Thugs fan, when it comes to executing, and you probably could speak more to this as a singer because I just talk, I don't sing, right? But like,
this is a good late night Quiet Storm voice that you got though.
Look, thank you.
You need to, I mean, I agreed when you said you need to be on the radio, so I'm here for that.
You, Bridget.
And we're going to manifest that. We're going to manifest that. We're going to manifest that.
But I will give credit where it's due, right? Yeah. Busy Bone was instrumental to those harmonies, and he was a big part of the sound that people associated with Bone.
Absolutely.
That was a revolutionary sound. Rappers weren't rapping like that.
Right.
People have compared what the Migos do to like what Bone did or whatever.
Yeah.
I think they sound totally different, but I can see, you know what I mean, where people make the association.
Yeah.
So I love Bone, and I will give Busy his props, but also as a Bone fan, Busy been showing his ass since day one.
Right. I was like, there was never really a time.
Busy Bone.
As much harmony he might have contributed, he disrupted a lot of the harmony too in the group.
He did.
If we being honest.
For real.
I mean, I even told her while he was taking a breather backstage, you could to me the harmony on stage with just the four of them, you could tell it just seemed so much more laxed than.
But why did he even take a break though? Because to be honest with you, after that, did he? Because if you watch the playback, all he did, he threw the thing.
Hold on, we're gonna talk about this.
Then went around to the back.
So first off,
they was pushing each other. I'm like, nigga, y'all don't even want to fight.
Real quick, yes, he was pussy.
But that's also corny as hell to throw a water. You threw a water bottle at the only woman on stage.
I thought he threw it at.
Here's the thing: we watched it back a lot of times yesterday.
We ran it back.
He threw it at Boo.
No, he threw it. He threw it at Boo.
And I thought he threw it at
first off,
Juicy
J was right in front of him. That bottle went beyond Juicy J, and he yelled out "Gangsta Boo" while throwing the bottle. If you go back, he did say that. He yelled out her name and then threw the bottle. But also, if Juicy J was the target, they was close enough to where that bottle would have landed.
But also, Busy didn't really want to fight, so it's kind of like. He could have thrown it at Juicy J because Juicy J definitely hit him with a "man, suck my dick," which are fighting words for most men.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, most, because I know a few that'll be like, all right.
but I mean, most. But in an agreement, I mean, if it's not, it depends on the tone. It depends on the tone. If the tone is given,
suck my dick, he'd be like, suck my.
Yeah, it's a different tone. It's a different delivery altogether.
I mean, is that? But I mean,
it's a special delivery.
It's a special delivery, honey.
I mean, I get that, but they were talking shit to each other from the jump. So to me, would that not have just been taken in jest? Like, I don't know. I don't think that's fighting words.
The thing about it is, for some people, that is literally fighting words.
Okay, so let's just say
that's a line for a lot of men.
So the homophobia and misogyny jumped out of Busy. Let's just say that, because
if you want to call it that, I can just say I just attribute it to disrespect in general.
It's disrespect,
and it's a level of disrespect.
Even when it's said to women in that kind of manner, it's still just as vulgar and offensive.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't think it says it's not homophobic.
Man, I'll bite your dick off, nigga. Don't tell me suck it. I'll bite that shit. Take that shit right the fuck off.
I hate too much teeth.
I mean, I know. Like, but like, that's why I'm like, to me, it's just like, all right, whatever. But also,
you got to fold the lips over there. Anyway,
there you go.
I mean, you do. But also, like, I grew up in the era, and I don't know if this is aging me as well. You remember when niggas used to like go like that? Like,
that was from wrestling, though.
It doesn't matter. That still meant suck it. Like,
no, I know, but that whole gesture came from like a play wrestle like performance. Right. Like, it wasn't a real like.
There's a huge difference between suck it and suck my dick.
Yeah,
there's a huge
I mean, but if you're going like
they
this,
mean the same thing.
Yeah, but again, this is still like little kids were doing this and to their parents because it was wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't.
By the way, now that I think of that era, did y'all do chop? Chop, got him. No, y'all didn't do none of that. You remember we used to chop a nigga neck? Was that a southern thing?
That's too close to my face.
I know.
The minute you at my face, I'm yoking you. I'm yoking you up now. You think that shit is funny? That's not funny.
You used to run up to a nigga and chop their ass, or you used to like point down at their shirt and do their nose.
No, we did this.
Oh well, this is
That's it. That's what we did.
No, you'd be like, look down here. Got him.
In Michigan, they used to call it BB Butcher. When they was that chop shit, they be like BB Butcher, and they would chop you like that.
Where would they chop you though?
I don't know, cause baby, I ain't never.
You wasn't getting chopped.
You was like, no.
Hell no, we can go for it.
To
this day, if motherfucker come up to me talking about some BB, but.
I ain't gonna hold you. Nah, Chop used to get like, so you want to fight? You want to fight?
I don't like anything to my face at all. Anything close to my it's not funny to me.
Now that I think about it, we was mad, inappropriate, and violent, and aggressive, and
wrestling. I'm blaming it on WWE.
No, you can't do that because the whites like to blame shit on hip hop. So let's just not blame.
What is that? So we can't blame WWE. There's a lot of black people that watch WWE. There's a lot of people black people that participate in WWE.
Country music ain't nothing but white people's hip hop anyway. Right. Clothing lines. They wear a lot of jewelry.
They do.
A lot of it's silver. A lot of it's sterling silver.
They talk about cheating on their partners. You're right. Okay, well, one of the conversations I did want to bring up, because we talk about the apology being as loud as the disrespect, and I had an issue personally, and we talked about this, me, Bridget, her man, and we got in a little debate last night in the fact that Gangsta Boo's name was said, so there was some sort of anger being thrown, and we saw that assault in throwing the water bottle.
She was also the one mocking Busy during the performance. With the dance. Juicy J wasn't even on that side of the stage. He was by his DJ setup. He's by his turntable,
which is why I knew it was directed towards her. Exactly. And in him finally coming back out on stage, you saw him dap up Juicy J, like all this shit, and then just issue an apology to that side of the stage. Yeah. Never addressed Gangsta Boo.
Well, he did it in the first damn place. So did you expect him to do it the PC route? Did you expect his apology to be not the PC route, but appropriate?
I mean,
because the action was inappropriate, right?
Right.
And a lot of that I chalk up to hip hop. You know what I mean? The just
it's misogyny as well, though.
Right? But my thing is like, you just have to keep it separate. That's what you have to do. And if Gucci Mane and Jeezy could make it out alive, if Brandy and Monica made it out alive from Versuz, I just didn't expect this from. Do
you know where the beef comes from with them?
Yeah. So
I'm glad you know, because we were trying to figure out.
I was like, what is this? What is happening? For 20-something years, did somebody fuck somebody mama? Like, what are we doing?
So, Bone has always had as close to like the dark side and Skull and Crossbones, whatever they have in their branding, I guess, right? They also have a very obvious, alliance. They're religious niggas, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're very niggas,
they're spiritual as fuck.
3 6 Mafia,
very satanic.
So like, as the Versuz was approaching, Busy Bone was doing like the promo videos for, how they have the artists do like the little clips to post on social. he said something about, we're going to beat them devil worshiping niggas ass or whatever. And then he made a post.
Yeah, I was like, they're not Satanists at all. They actually, they're way more spiritual. The Crossroads is a spiritual.
No, I was talking about 3-6.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Bone. I was like,
Bone is super spiritual.
Yeah.
3-6 is like devil worshiping.
So because of that spirituality that is apparent in Bone's, artistry,
right.
Busy took personal offense to 3-6 Mafia, their name in and of itself.
Right.
And he made a really lengthy Instagram post like a couple days prior to the battle saying that, are they going to denounce Satan on stage? Because this is the time. And if they not, then they devil worshiping niggas, whatever. And he called them out, tagged Versuz, and he basically put the word out like, if you guys don't do this,
right,
then you are officially these types of people.
Didn't that motherfucker, he was in jail? He's done so many things that are not Christian-like. So to me, in terms, if you're gonna be
ridiculous.
Yeah, but if you're gonna be this religious fucking talker, pray for them. That's what the Bible really say to do. So for him to judge them and say all this, you know what I mean? That's what I be talking about, like with Christians and religion. And we're not gonna get into but the hypocrisy of the judging on this earth. If you really live by that faith and that in the Bible,
from Busy Bone.
Listen,
if you think, I'm sorry, but if a finger of judgment, religious judgment is going to be pointed at me, it better not be attached to the hand of Busy Bone.
Not attached to the hand that throws water bottles at women either.
Which, by the way,
period. It better not be attached to that finger with blunt wraps under the nail and shit and all that shit.
That part.
How dare you, my nigga?
That part.
How dare you?
Looking every bit of Sean Paul last night. He looked. Look, she was like that.
I said he giving big deport them energy on the side of the stage. I said these straight backs,
not deport them.
These straight backs and these shades, these lokes.
I did
lokes.
He had lokes on. He had lokes on. I did like all of the features. It was giving.
When they get to see LeChat,
listen,
I was so happy to see LeChat.
First of all,
on that stage.
and she still had that short haircut on one, super short on one side and long on the back. I said, "Go ahead, sis."
Love Chat.
Go ahead,
it was giving very country on stage. Everyone had the
very
Fable
country
shades on.
First of all, shout out to Gangsta Boo taking the bottle of 42 to the face.
Hold on.
And as the night went on, I mean, she was throwing her drink. I loved it.
But also, wait a minute.
Showmanship.
Let me tell you.
That's a great word for it.
I don't know if she saw it. We caught her after taking the sip from the 1942 bottle. And ladies, if you listening, the bitch pulled out her eyeshadow palette.
Sure did to block.
But there's a mirror.
That's a real lady.
In the eyeshadow palette, and I was like, oh my god, this is so country. But it was the full.
She was
palette.
in her purse. Her and LeChat was in their purses all night. If you notice on that stage,
there was a girl that had two cameras in hand, and her purse was on her shoulder with her mask and a whole. I was like, sis, this is getting nervous.
Yeah, no, I loved all of the features. Terrence Howard came out. Lil Jon.
Terrence Howard,
talk to me.
Terrence Howard. I'm a huge fan of his talent and his art stuff, but Terrence Howard always looked like he still be standing outside the store. You know what I'm saying? He literally and not in a way that makes you, not in an inviting way. Because I'm a hood nigga. I love that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Terrence
but just
ain't
in a way,
inviting.
Is everything okay? I want to do a check-in. Like Terrence, brother. You know what I'm saying? You are Terrence fucking Howard.
But you know what's crazy? The fact that he's an actor. Well, the hat is crazy too. But
it was the velour wallpaper print suit for me. That was giving. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute.
It's also the fact that he's an actor.
You make too much money. This is dumb.
But he couldn't get into showcasing himself as a rapper.
Oh, he was in character.
Was he?
Yes, he got into his rapper character.
It was really bad.
That was who he was.
That was who he was. Bridget, he got into his what?
That's what he was doing on stage. That's how he was in the movie, bro.
But also the fact
because even in the movie it wasn't believable. The only thing believable really was the hair, was the washing set. That was it.
But
for
also,
me.
as actors, we don't really get to see them, and I don't know if it's their publicists or just how they have to be presenting to white people. The way he was like, "You ain't no nigga." You ain't know, he said the N-word probably about 8 times, and I said, "Oh, he's saying it with he's not ever to say this in any other environment or this movie."
He was hyped to say it on stage with a mic. He was hyped to be around. He was hyped to be around his niggas for sure.
He was.
He was hyped as fuck.
A safe space for the N-word. I believe it was the 3-6 Mafia versus Bone Thugs and Harmony versus.
If you was ever going to embrace, if you were ever going to embrace this side of your personality, and he's from Cleveland, so
Cleveland.
That was
Bone
also
said, Cleveland is the city where we come from, so run right.
I know that's right.
I love Bone. I love 3-6.
I love it.
I stood up all night, sang the songs all night. I had a good time.
You always forget too how many records both of these groups have that you're like, oh shit, I remember this.
Yeah.
And even with 3-6, like we were talking about how Juicy J has not gotten his flowers appropriately.
Oh my God.
Like people have not put enough respect on Juicy J's name.
Let's talk about the fact that he played a fucking Katy Perry record on the stage that night. Let's talk about what that means for like his career and the longevity.
I mean, we can talk about what it means for hip hop, even for them to have won an Oscar.
They're Academy Award winners on that damn Versuz stage. Come on. Right.
But to have this type of song that's in your thing. First of all, I'm glad that he played this.
Oh, 100%.
For one, but it stemmed the conversation of Juicy J being able to do a Versuz by himself.
He definitely could. He's got the catalog to support that.
And I just kind of wanted to know then, speaking of, who would y'all place him against?
Who could Juicy J go against? Producer wise.
By the way,
because he was on the turntables too. He was producing.
Y'all.
To be honest, Juicy J, this is just my opinion, would have been better against Mannie Fresh than Scott Storch. Scott Storch was not a good was not a good matchup for Mannie Fresh. I think Mannie Fresh and Juicy J could go.
I think
production wise, yes.
The amount of songs available to be presented in the Versuz, I see why they picked Scott Storch, but I agree because when you actually like specify the songs themselves,
absolutely,
totally Juicy
like
J versus Mannie Fresh makes way more sense.
Scott Storch versus Timbaland would have been a better matchup.
Bridget.
Just like Swiss would have been better with I don't know, a Just Blaze or
I'm trying to think of other producers who
or even a Premier. Like I would love to see I would love to see that. I would love to see Premier go up against like Dr. Dre
that's a goddamn battle, right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, Premier and Dr. Dre would actually be phenomenal. Like
I think that this is the thing about Juicy J, which by the way, one day we'll start our playlist of our conversations. But if you literally just go into Juicy J Essentials, not only Katy Perry, he has Usher, he has Meg Thee Stallion. This is him and Neo.
This was a good record.
Wiz Khalifa. Also, if we really want to get into his crossover, he helped this girl welcomed her into the Black community right along with Mike Will made it.
Miley
Cyrus. Like the way that he's been able to transcend but also remain the respect through both.
It's motherfucking Juicy J, man. Come on. Like, it's Juicy J.
I love it. That's it. I love it. He has Jeremiah, ASAP Mob, Travis Scott, The Weeknd, Kevin Gates. If y'all really go through, fucking Chris Brown. If y'all really go through everyone that he's really worked with, I think that would be one of those verses with him where we're like, oh, he was a part of this.
You would be surprised.
You would be surprised. And I think that's what I really liked about the Versuz when we were in lockdown, seeing more of the producers and writers go head to head, and we were like, oh shit, you wrote this, you wrote that.
I feel the same way, but I appreciate the new platform. I appreciate the stage. I appreciate the live format. Like I hear that conversation a lot where people are like, I miss Versuz, when it was just virtual on the internet back before it was all produced. I don't
either.
Want the lights, the stage.
I don't either. And you know what? And shout out to Jamaica because they were the first ones that really did it right with the live
Beanie Man and
yes, and it was like
not
you know what?
We said Beanie Man and Beanie Man and
Vibes Cartel, right?
No, it was
Elephant Man.
No,
look at me.
It was Beanie Man.
It was gonna take me a second.
That's it. That's the very Beanie Man because we know Beanie Man mopped him just like
Vibes Cartel is in prison. It's
wait, is he really?
Yeah, he killed somebody.
Well, I just thought he was still bleaching his skin.
Unless it was virtual, it wasn't him.
I mean, Vibes Cartel is now a white man anyway.
No, this is bad, Mandii. We need to know who you did this with.
I got this.
Listen,
I'm screaming.
I will get cursed. I'm about to get cursed out. Bounty killer.
Okay.
Yo, by the way, we are still looking for a screen woman or man. If you are available and like to work on Mondays and don't have a job otherwise, please DM us because we definitely are looking. We'll get the screen in here soon. But so Bounty Killer. Damn, they're Bounty Killer.
But that was the first. That was the first Versuz that we were like, yo, this energy in between the two of them. The stage was done right.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like all that.
I love that.
When you and I went, I had a great time. I would have liked to see this particular Versuz maybe done in Atlanta or somewhere in the South. I just think it would have been appreciated more.
The crowd in LA is just, I mean, the whole thing, everybody's recording on their phones. Like, you looking at the crowd.
That's this now, right?
You can see the 4 or 5 people who are really fans that were jumping up and down rapping.
But I feel like that's just the overall energy in LA. I think in LA, it's just, you're used to you're so desensitized by celebrity because you just you see celebrities all the time that when you actually get into a space where someone is performing for you, you want to just capture it. You're so used to being detached from that moment,
which is crazy because guess what?
Which is whack because
bitch don't look back at them videos and Versuz is on YouTube.
You just taking up space on your phone.
That's all you're doing. Which
me and Mandii party when we went to Versuz.
Oh my God.
Let me tell you the level of
drink.
Let me tell you,
and J. Cole.
Every single woman that was at the Shaka Khan and Stephanie Mills Versuz had a drink in one hand and her shoes in the other.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what we went to. That's what we went for. But listen, including Shaka Khan. Well, that was in LA. That was in LA.
Oh,
the aunties in LA. The aunties in LA showed the fuck out. They had their heels in one hand and the drinks, the wine and the Remy. It's a lot of Remy.
To
in
me,
that
this Bone Thugs and 3-6 Versuz was just like Trina versus Eve. Trina had all the street records and she got up there and mopped Eve up, and that's exactly what happened last night, or not last night, but the other night. 3-6 Mafia had all the street club records, and they came on there and just had a more exciting and engaging show. It was a better show than what Bone offered. So
yeah. Well, shout out to both. Shout out to both groups.
Absolutely.
I love them both.
I love them both too. They did their thing. And Swizz, if you're trying to think of what we can do next, like I said, I would love to see a Juicy J kind of alongside anybody. I
like the fact that 3-6 had their moment though.
I do. I do
Juicy
too.
J
Absolutely.
has done his thing as a producer, but 3-6 Mafia meant a lot to rap music and to the culture. So it was good to see all of that. Yeah.
No, I agree. What we doing, baby?
What we doing, baby?
Hold on, y'all. All right, let's get out of this and into something else.
Yeah.
Actually, we're about to get into the mess. I just looked at the rest of the outline.
It's a mess.
Let's go.
Girl, it's a mess.
Hey.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. This is your time. Fill up your coffee if you're still at your work desk. And shout out to y'all who watch us on the YouTube too. You can't hear this, but
it's unfortunate because there's not a single person I know that's not going to sing along when Big Luther come on.
That's right, Big Luther.
By the way, real quick too, I know someone asked, and we'll get into it because we are joined by another podcaster. The usage of music, a lot of people have been asking how we get away with that, and who knows? We haven't been sued yet, but there is.
Thank you.
I mean, which is crazy because a lot of artists actually repost us when we bring up their songs and music. I think you need to consider one of the things that we even talked about with Savon was this term called pod safe music. So this is why we do talk over the music when y'all hear it. This is why we play drops. What we're playing, and we play also a short segment of the song, can't really count towards their streams in it because even if they pull the music off, it's us talking over it. It's our soundtracks. It's our sound bites, and it makes it less desirable for the listener. No one's gonna
look at you giving free game. Put it in the book.
Savon put us on,
when we came, he was like, talk. Like he was texting me when he was in the studio with us.
Like you can play a couple seconds, and then as long as you're talking over it, you'll be fine.
And I'll like go in and out with the levels. Like there's a way to do it to where it won't trigger anything.
And shout out to Savon. Congratulations.
Hold on.
We gotta give him a round of applause because Savon has really busted his ass relentlessly, tirelessly, and seemingly effortlessly to juggle and work hard and get to a place where he's at. He recently announced his departure from the JBP and moving upward and onward with HBO, which is incredible for him. And we're so excited to see him thrive and flourish in the way that we know he can and will.
But also,
congrats.
I want to shout out to all of the creators. If you're like really focused on your podcast and really enjoy creating in this space, there are so many job opportunities available right now.
Yes.
As producers, as editors, as hosts, as talent. Again, really sharing my resources here. But go and
because other people don't.
No, they
don't.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Hold on, bitch.
Yeah.
I want to do this one.
Nah.
Say that again.
Hating ass bitches.
Oh, not sharing resources. Sorry.
That BK, that's AK.
You know that's
47.
I know, actually,
it's BK with the AK.
The
Definitely
AK
BK with the AK.
Like this. You know, boom.
It's BK with the
actually,
AK.
That might be a 9, a Glock. I don't fucking know. I can't have a gun in New York, so there's that.
Not yet.
I did want to say, if you're a creative and you're really looking to get into this space where you can make money doing what you love, podpeople.com. You can either join the community, and there's a ton of freelance work.
Love that.
So you can go on and join as either an editor, a producer, a researcher. You can write scripts. You can write openers. You can go in and there's so many positions in the space that I don't think people are aware of. But they have a lot. And then also subscribe to Pod News. I literally read pod updates every day. Like, it's literally a part of my life. So I know YouTube is now as well getting into this space.
Yes,
so not sure how it's going to really affect the monetization of podcasts, but YouTube is getting in. We have a lot of music companies. We have Sony, we have Warner, we have all of the combinations over there, Midroll, Stitcher, Sirius, Gumball, like all of these just amazing places that are a part of it. I was a part of Loudspeakers Network, which is where you're also
home of the Friend Zone. Been over there for almost 7 years.
Yeah.
Great situation. We both have worked with iHeart.
We were both on iHeart. Black Effect with Charlemagne the God. And so just in these spaces though, they have a lot of people that are coming from music and TV and don't know what the fuck they're talking about with podcasts.
Point. Because there is something to be said for these people who have entered this space, this professional space of podcasting, that have music backgrounds, and sort of try to apply that same format and structure to this, but this is not that, and it works completely differently. So there's something to be said for people who have had and maintained a voice in this industry, and have an understanding of how the landscape works. And so I think when you marry that with, a willing ear from the other space, then you can create something beautiful.
Yeah, I really think it's important for
podcasts deserve the support
that
certain music projects get, or any media outlet that it's a new space, and so a lot of people don't know how to literally make it look.
I mean, and I ain't gonna hold you. Check this out. I'm sitting here listening to I'm a Housewives fan, and Nikki was talking to even Candace about her streams and what she got for an album is what we get in a month with our views.
So let's really let that wash over our senses, right? When it comes to what our deals look like and what our opportunities look like, and how people have legitimized our voice and our contribution to media in podcast form. Let's make that make sense.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Well, but also with music, the way that they structure a deal is obviously not advantageous to the artist
at
ever. Which is tough because ultimately the podcast, the difference is, right, when you're an artist, you are the product, right? Whereas with podcasters, the podcast itself is the product. We're the creators of the product. And the way that music that labels, from what we've seen, and also even just music executives in general, how they view a podcast itself is a marketing tool. So the podcasters are just kind of extra appendages to what the product is, which is the podcast.
So they thought.
They really thought.
Fucking tell you.
They really thought. And so, that was something that Mandii and I discussed as well. Even
that's
with
our fight
with seeking network support, right?
Yeah.
And I said to her, like, as awesome as it would be to partner with a group or a network, a company that is really at the forefront of music industry, they're not going to have any idea how to navigate the space better than us.
And Bridget is all here for independence. She's like, if none of it makes sense,
we don't need to do it.
She has a lot of trust in me, and she's learning like on the fly as well.
But also, even where music and industry is concerned, where labels are concerned, like. At this point, shout out to Tiffany Red, and who's has a corporation called the 100%ers, and her entire mission is she's a Grammy Award winning songwriter. She's just an incredible creative just throughout, and has worked with everyone in the industry for over a decade. And now her entire mission is to advocate for songwriters who don't get paid what they should be paid, who are not able to accumulate a living wage properly from labels, while labels and publishers are out here basking in billions of dollars.
And so,
it's kind of with podcasting, I think what some of these networks are learning is that you can't we're the talent. So as much as you want a podcast and you want to utilize that as a marketing and advertising tool, what the meat and potatoes of the podcast are the hosts. We're the talent.
I've been doing this shit, like I said, for over 7 years. I see them come and go. I have seen them use big name talent.
That's like artists. It's the same thing.
Big name talent, they put them behind the mics and get nothing.
Nothing from it.
They have no personality. They don't understand the science of podcasting and the science of a conversation.
Right.
They don't do any preparation to sharpen their blade, so to speak. And they only last one season and they gone. But you see it happen all the time. The people who have remained relevant voices in this space, and the people like you guys who have come into this space and made your voice heard, okay, that is a special case and it deserves to be treated as such. That's just the bottom line. Whatever type of support we need, whatever our needs are, they need to be met.
They gotta be met.
And it needs to look like a volley into the next opportunity for us. That's what we need.
What do you feel like is the biggest factor, though, as a podcaster to remain relevant in the space?
Consistency.
That's all I tell people.
Consistent.
When people want advice from me, that's it. I think that seasons are hard to keep an audience. Unfortunately, I mean, I know we talked in our departure from the JBN, taking a break, even from our agents and talking with people around us. They were like, well, do you want to take a break before season 2?
No.
And I said, absolutely not.
I said, we don't want to leave. We don't want to leave the audience.
As soon as you go a couple weeks without, we drop on Tuesdays. Whether you as a listener listens on Tuesday or Friday, we are ingrained into your schedule of listening to podcasts.
Right.
And as soon as you realize we ain't dropping, there's hundreds of thousands of
podcasts. Trust, man.
Well, not only trust.
It's trust between you and your audience. If your audience has to trust that you are going to provide
show up for them every week.
Think about what we do. We have a conversation. We share our thoughts, our feelings. That's a relationship.
Right.
So when your audience is accustomed to that and they expect that and anticipate it and they look forward to it as a form of escapism or whatever the fuck, the absence of it is felt 10 times harder.
It's like say you got a partner and y'all know that Fridays are your date nights, and he decides that he's gonna just not
switch up.
What you gonna do? You gonna get another
go
bitch
find another.
And go out on Friday. That's
you
get what I'm saying.
You're gonna find another way to fill up your Fridays. I definitely think consistency is key. I'm gonna fill up another way.
It's gonna get
I said pause. I said it before.
Whether
I knew it was coming.
or not.
I knew it was
I'm gonna fill that thing up.
All right.
Sorry. All right. You know I get excited.
The thing is,
this hole gonna get filled, baby.
This thing is filled.
No, but again, if you're out there, I think that's the only advice that I ever give to anyone.
That's how you build the trust with your audience. And that is the
Yeah.
key to success in podcasting, having an audience that trusts you. That's why ad sales matter. If your audience trusts you, they believe in products you endorse.
Yep.
It's all about trust. So you got to be able to keep it real.
Yeah.
And the people who don't survive, the people who don't make it, are the ones who haven't been able to do that.
Right.
And you just got to look at history to see it go down. You just sit back. Like the old niggas say, just keep living. You just keep living, you see it. You see it happen.
Right.
So
I love that.
Yeah.
I do too.
We got into that.
What else is going on?
I mean, we're going to get into the mess now. Let's go ahead and be messy.
Let's let it roll.
Everything that you got. You know what was crazy? We're definitely music current events pod, but I realized that a lot of current events has to do with fucking relationships.
Wow.
Messy, man.
And people dating and people not showing up for each other. And you know the outline. Bridget, how messy do you want to start with this? Do you want to start with hold on. Do you want to start with Tristan Thompson, Sweetie and Lil Baby, Stevie J or Kanye? That's where we're going today, y'all.
Everyone is messy today. I think we should start with this Tristan Thompson bullshit. God. Because
all right, well, you know I have the text messages, and I would really like to read that. I guess I want to start, and then we could all go down the line with our thoughts on this. Saw it, wasn't surprised at all.
I mean, this really falls under the shit that I don't care about this week.
I mean,
Same.
We talked about it enough to where I felt like we cared about it just a little bit.
I mean, we always do with the shit we don't care about.
We do. Y'all be...
we don't care about. Mandii night be going on for 10 minutes. They be like, yo, y'all really don't give a fuck about this? You sure you don't give a fuck about this?
The shit I don't care about this week, I really don't give a fuck about, and I'm going to share why.
Okay.
But I really wanted to get into... for those of you who do not know, reports dropped this week that Tristan Thompson, who is the baby father and boyfriend, partner, fiance, husband, I don't know, are they married? To Khloe Kardashian.
The baby father of the streets.
Y'all know that he's been caught cheating multiple times and right. But this time he impregnated someone, which is crazy because he is a grown ass man. And the point that me and my friends got to before more details dropped, he did confirm that he had relations with this woman once.
Which let me know you failed sex ed. and junior high school.
Because you had literally one job.
One job.
You had one job.
Just one.
That's it. Just wrap it up. It's funny though, because it did bring me and my friends to the conversation of Brittany Renner's statement at these men, specifically athletes, really are not using condoms out here. And don't do that. Look, another shocker. I fucking hate you. I know. No shit. And what's crazy too is it only takes one time.
Which is why I said this dummy failed sex ed, because they tell you that.
They do tell you
pre-cum. A woman can get pregnant from pre-cum, bro.
Yeah.
You ain't even gotta empty the whole clip. Yeah. And sis could 100% get pregnant. Like. Yeah.
And apparently, if you just look at Nick Cannon, pregnant. There's a future pregnant. Yeah. There's a few guys that have that ability.
My eyes.
Let me not even look your direction.
Let me not even look at your turban.
Wyatt.
Listen, pregnant. She look at anybody.
Kiki Wyatt is fertile, myrtle.
No, she got a husband. She got a husband.
Yeah, she keep a husband.
Yeah,
she
got a new husband.
That's what she got.
She keep a husband. As a matter of fact, her ex, y'all really want to get into it. Yeah. Let's get into it. So her ex-husband got a baby by Ann Nesby's granddaughter from Sounds of Blackness. She got a granddaughter named Paris Bennett that was on American Idol, and she's now with Kiki Wyatt's ex-husband. They got a baby together.
What? Wow. You know what? But what's crazy is the world is small. What y'all want us to do? I told you, if he don't work, go to his friends.
Yeah.
If you was in the room, you was in the room.
I don't
He was in the room, you was in the room.
Don't let an old nigga stop you from finding your soulmate.
Wow.
Or his 9 kids. What kind of car you gonna drive? You got 10 motherfucking
You have a
children.
very generous soul.
Can you imagine that
if
McDonald's breakfast order?
No shit.
If that's your soulmate,
you gotta call that one in.
Soul.
You gotta call that one in.
If that's your soulmate, God bless you. I just 10 kids. Yeah. God damn.
That,
you know what I'm saying?
I feel like I need them on my taxes if I'm gonna be with you.
I'm scared to put them on because I know they're gonna think I'm scamming. 10 kids, that motherfucker lying. You know what I'm saying? Like I know they're gonna think
that's
I'm
what they're gonna do.
They be like, where they sleep? Where they sleep?
Well, to be honest, normally you get to split them. Like I know that was a thing.
Yeah. She didn't split herself. 10
Jesus Christ.
God damn.
Nah, but literally parents decide who gets to claim who. That's normally a conversation every tax season.
Yeah. That makes
Even
sense.
with me growing up, like who get to claim the kids? What'd you make this year? How much do we get back?
Sense.
Can we split this credit? Like we
love logic and strategy.
You know what I mean?
We love a strategy.
Listen, they ain't teach us taxes in school, so we just gotta learn it.
I think the part that makes me sad about all this shit though is the fact that a lot of times the kids, 9 times out of 10 actually, most times the kids end up being collateral in the situation.
For sure.
Between adults that don't know how to adult properly. They just haven't figured it the fuck out yet.
I believe in keeping it player. Fuck all that. You ain't gonna. Let me tell you something about Dustin. If I was in a position to have baby mamas and shit like that, you already know how it would roll, man. Bridget, you know, keep it player, take care of everything. You know what I'm saying? Make them live a good life, pay that mortgage so she ain't got to worry about it. Put her in a nice car. Pay for that education and ballerina lessons, whatever you got to pay for. Just do it.
Were you raised that way?
Yeah. Well, my parents been married. They actually just celebrated their 50th anniversry.
I love it. I love that. Year. Congrats to your parents.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But even with that, because if I was my daddy, if I was my daddy, I would have left my mom, and if I was my mom, I would have left my daddy.
Wow.
They stayed together, right? So
they figured it the fuck out. They were like, no, it's just it's easier to stay here.
As a nigga, as a man, like who wants to be a part of that sort of headline, right? Pay the money. Keep it player.
a man that doesn't care, that feels like he can just throw money at it.
But you want your to me, them your kid. You want your kids to be raised right. Take care of their baby mom. Take care of their mama.
Okay.
Keep the household like just take care of it. That's your job when you got the kids. Like, just make sure everything is good. Then you don't have this nasty shit that Dr. Dre and his wife going through now in the headlines.
Right.
Pay the money.
Well, apparently Tristan did attempt to do that, and I actually want to read his tweets that were added.
A sad attempt, 75K.
Hold on, let me read it for y'all that do not know. Tristan Thompson did attempt to pay this woman out, and I would like to read it with some theme music in the back if you guys do not mind.
What you gonna play, man?
I already know.
You know how I feel. My feelings haven't changed at all. Won't be involved at all. By the way, if you think having this baby is going to make you some money, It's completely wrong. You are aware that I'm retiring after this season. So in terms of support, it will be whatever is required monthly for someone who's unemployed. It's Texas, so it'll be only a couple $100s. So you better off taking this $75K I'm offering, because you won't get nothing near that with having a kid with a father who's unemployed. All you will have is a baby with a father who has zero involvement with the child and a few $100s of child support a month.
What do you call it? Is it disrespect or is it direct communication?
Oh shit! Oh, this is where we taking it.
What do you call it?
So I'll be honest with you. First off, it takes a hoe to know the child support laws in each state, for one.
Yes.
That nigga played in Cleveland, and is now I don't know where, but I don't think he played on a team in Texas.
He said this ain't my first rodeo, baby.
That's what he said. It's hard because I will say, here's the thing. In terms of holding everyone accountable, when you have sex unprotected, you know the consequence. A baby or an STD. Mm-hmm. So you coming to me after the fact, like, I'm going to just pay you for an abortion. You also have to realize, in terms of women, our bodies and biological clocks, an abortion can affect that. I may be old to where, and I've had this conversation with my friends. A lot of us are in our 30s now. We don't want the trauma of an abortion to us. We don't know if this may be the last time I'm even able to conceive and have a baby. And now the idea of me trying maybe later on not being able to the case, what trauma that does to our psyche of getting rid of maybe a baby that we did want, but because you wasn't going to be involved and because you telling me you're not going to be there, I can't have it. I do know women who have been offered a lot of money for abortions. I have a homegirl that got 50 racks for an abortion as well from a ball player. You can get more in the long run. However, I do know women as well that are getting $1,200 a month from these ball players. I know women that are still not getting paid child support from these ball players. So it's also not one of those easy, like, it's going to be money, I'm going to have the baby for money. It's not guaranteed. I will say, in terms of your question, though, it was disrespectful communication.
Disrespectful direct communication.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, look, listen, first of all, again, keeping it player. If you find yourself in a position, excuse me, shit.
Right. It's okay. It's the wine.
If you find yourself in a position where you have this unexpected pregnancy, right? Yeah. You feel the best thing to do is to terminate it. I think that you need to be persuasive with what you offer, considering everything you said, Mandii. The stress on a woman's body,
hormonal changes,
all of the things that you have to think about. Like you said, I think that you can represent your consideration of those things with what you offer, right? In that way. So $75,000 is a healthy sum of money,
but also
it's not enough.
We didn't see what she said prior to that message.
Yeah. Even if she just said, I'm pregnant and want to keep the baby.
I feel like that's not the tone. That's not the tone of her approach.
Or his response.
That response to me was like, I already told you what this was.
So what's up?
So why are you know what I'm saying? So it's not, at this point, this is not their first time having this conversation. Yep. So we don't know what her tone of voice now is, where it's like, well, fuck you, because this is what, we don't know. And it's not to give him a hall pass in any capacity. I think he's trash, but I just don't, I have a very unpopular opinion about this. Which we've talked about before, which is that I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that. When it comes down to conception, that we're both equally responsible people, and we are both responsible for our part in it, and we are in charge and in control of of our choices and what we do with our bodies. And then when it comes time to have a conversation around parenting, that decision is solely on the woman because it's her body. And it's not to say that a woman should not have control of her body. She should. And I know some of y'all trolls out here going to try to take this apart and spin this, but I'm gonna be really clear so that there's no fucking room for error.
Talk your shit.
A woman has a right to make whatever decision she makes with her body. I don't, however, believe that decision then the man who is not a part of that decision making, because there's two parts of that process. When the man and woman lay down together, that is a mutual decision. Whatever happens after that then becomes the woman's decision. It's not the man's decision anymore. So if it's not the man's decision anymore, why is the consequence then on the man for a decision he had no part in making? I don't agree with that part. And so a lot of people disagree with me, and I totally understand.
I mean, but I've been that woman. I mean, I've opened up about this on my other pod, and I'm not sure if I opened up about it here, but I was pregnant very young. I had a teenage pregnancy, and I knew I was bound for greatness. So there was no way of me keeping it. Right. My mom had experienced that, and I even in telling her, she was like, "Are you sure? Are you sure? Like, you know." You'll go through this. And what's crazy is when I let the father know, which by the way, God, my awful decisions. He was a fucking gangbanger named Elmo, who got locked up right during the week of my abortion. He wanted to keep it. He literally almost cried on the phone with me and was sure that I was killing his daughter. He didn't have a daughter yet. He had a son. And for whatever reason, 1 month into my pregnancy, he wished all this havoc and cursed me because he truly felt like I was killing his daughter. And God. So in terms of what you're saying, yes, a lot of times, even when a man is in the picture and wants to keep the baby,
it's his decision. It's not his decision anymore.
It's not really his decision. So I do get that part to what you're saying.
And
it's unfortunate.
I think it sucks because then I think again the person who suffers is the child in that space. Unless, and we have seen it, and even watching it on Insecure, right? You watching Lawrence and Condola's like, well, look, I want to be a mom, so whatever you decide to do is cool. This is my decision, it's my body, and this is what I want to do because I want to be a mother. And too often we see scenarios where women are using the pregnancy as a pawn versus really being proactive about the fact that you just want to be a mother. That is acceptable in itself. The same way that a woman saying, whatever her reason is for wanting an abortion, that's her right, and her reason is valid. Even if it's something traumatic, doesn't have to happen to you. It doesn't have to be a rape situation. It doesn't have to be any number of things other than you just don't want to be a mother in that moment.
But there are reasons for women wanting to keep a child as well.
There are plenty of reasons outside of money.
And
wanting to be a mother.
Bridget, it sounds like to me is that it's unfair to project certain assumed responsibility onto your partner if
they're not a part of the decision. If it's not a mutual decision, then whatever consequences can't be mutual. I don't think that's right.
We don't carry babies, right? So we don't have any agency over what a woman does with her womb, I believe, right?
Right.
So
it's true.
But I also believe that there is another conversation, a mature conversation that needs to be had once you then figure that part out and say, okay, well, I decided that I want to do this, so now where do you fit in? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
As opposed to saying, I decided I wanted to do this.
And that's a very different narrative.
So your motherfucking ass got to do this.
And that's a very different narrative. And so, like I said, we don't see often enough women that end up in precarious situations with these men that are emotionally unstable and immature.
Yeah.
And then they're expecting a different attitude and a different approach to a conversation that he was never really trying to have with you in the first place. So, like you said, it's kind of like, why are we surprised at his response when clearly the conversation with him wasn't, hey, I'm having this baby because I really want to be a mom. It's, hey, I'm pregnant with your baby and you need to be giving me child support ASAP.
Yeah.
Because now I'm about to go on maternity leave. I can't personally train myself, so I can't. So now you got to come up off that bread.
So sensitive,
which to me is not the same narrative. And look, luckily, we've seen a lot of situations where, women are hopeful that it works out with the baby's father, and it doesn't pan out, but they're still excited about a kid, right? Or we see situations like a Kehlani where Kehlani was hyped to be a mom. That was a family planned pregnancy where she had a baby and the father is around. We don't need to know what their relationship is. We don't need to know any of that. We just know Kehlani is an incredible mom. She loves being a mother. She's changing the narrative for artists who are living really active professional careers and balancing motherhood simultaneously and doing both in the public eye and doing both passionately and very intensely.
And guess what?
And it's great.
Her business.
Yep. It's her business.
That's her business. And that's what people need to understand. Look how she has taken complete ownership over her business.
Yes.
She decided how she wanted to set her life up. You
Correct.
understand what I'm saying?
Correct.
And what kind of relationship she wanted. She made choices and decisions and she planned.
Right.
And she took care of her business. That's her business. And so it's not up to us to judge it.
Right.
But we can learn a lot
right.
from her from just the way that from her approach. We can learn a lot from her approach.
Well, because it also comes down to making the best of the situation doesn't mean forcing a man to be a part of a situation he doesn't want to be a part of. That's not making the best of a situation, especially as a woman. Making the best of a situation, and most of my friends grew up in single parent households. Our mothers did the best they fucking could with or without a man.
Shout out Miss Tammy.
And yes, and MK. And it really had nothing to do with a man's presence or not. Like, my mother made that decision that she wanted to be a mom. It wasn't contingent on whether my dad was going to financially provide or whether he was going to show up. She wanted to be a mom. And the rest kind of figured itself out, which she stood on. You know what I'm saying? And that as a kid, having a mother that's like, yo, this is who I am. I'm owning this. I'm your mom. I want to be your mom. I wanted to be your mom. I didn't care about nothing else. This is the part that's honorable for me. Like, that's so much more impactful and empowering for a kid.
Listen, the world has changed, so these old antiquated views of a husband and wife,
antiquated
or whatever
is a good word.
Fuck, you know what I'm saying?
That's
it just is not.
Not
it
two
is
people
not
big word users on this.
It's not relevant to what life looks like today.
Right.
We do have single mothers, single fathers, same sex parent households. We have all these different new ways that the family structure and family unit looks. And so maybe that is, an extension of that, reimagining the responsibility involved in parenting a child or co-parenting if you choose to, or choosing to co-parent. Maybe all of that needs to be re-examined and imagined on a case specific basis, right? What works for you? Like, you just brought up a beautiful example of Kaylani and your own mother, who decided they wanted to be moms and kind of took that what that means and what it looked like in their own hands.
Yes.
So I think that's what it's about. Me personally, again, I already told you I believe in keeping it player. If it's my baby, I'm gonna take care of it. I'm gonna take care of the other parent. I'm not going to be a part of those headlines. I'm not going to have that kind of confusion over my kid.
Right.
I want to raise a healthy child. I want them to know that they're loved, whether we in the same fucking house or not.
Yeah.
And to me, you have to have that approach when you make the choice and the decision to be a parent.
Okay. And both of y'all said choice, decision multiple times in that.
Yeah.
And so we were in LA and I was talking about, getting tattoos. And one of the tattoos that I've wanted to get is actually a definition that stems from Albert Einstein. And it's the definition of insanity. And literally that's what I want, just those 3 words, definition of insanity. And what Albert Einstein saw it to be is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. And I bring that to the Saweetie conversation. We kind of touched on it last week with Rory, but not really in depth. And I wanted to kind of talk about that because I think what a lot of us women do is go after the same type of guy and get mad when we get the same result. And so a lot of us know that in the separation and breakup with her and Quavo, with Saweetie and Quavo, it had to do with infidelity. And kind of she's now allegedly dating Lil Baby, who we know of him to still really be taking parts with Jada, and maybe some other women have also been rumored to be dealing with him as well. And I just kind of wanted to have the conversation, you're with a partner now who you said is so different from who you've been with in the past.
100%.
I wanted to ask even you, and even my partner is way different from who I've dated in the past, but I had that conversation with a lot of my friends who are still actively dating. And I'm like, girl, you still going after the same motherfuckers. Why do you think it's going to be different with them if they're in the same career path? They're treating you the same, communication style is the same. Why are you expecting something different? So I wanted to kind of break into that conversation. In terms of dating, we have types. But how do you break that mold if you're not finding happiness with your type? Like, I don't know. What is that conversation? How are you guys shifting in finding a different result with who you're dating?
You grow the fuck up.
Well, that's
First of all, the whole type thing is some bullshit. You like what you like. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Type?
That's not a type.
I like certain food. That's the type of food I like.
That means you like how that tastes. That's it. That don't mean that's the only shit you eat.
I like how they taste too.
That's not the only shit you
it's a type.
Taste. Right? So if you're attracted to a certain aesthetic, if you're attracted to a certain character trait, a certain personality trait, that's just what you're attracted to. It doesn't mean that everybody that shares that, that common trait or that common aesthetic is going to behave the same way. It doesn't mean that. Also, grow up, like Bridget said. if you have had an experience with someone, then you now know what to do in the next situation. You almost have a cheat sheet,
right?
If you're going to date the same exact
type, not type, but
profile.
By
it's a similar profile. Yeah. We can just call it a profile.
If you're going to do the same thing, then now you know.
Oh, not Criminal Minds.
You have a master key, right?
Are we behavioral analysts?
Why would you expect? Why would you expect?
We should be at this point. Shit.
You just got to grow up to me, like, and.
Well,
why
because
would you have those expectations?
You go after the same shit because you haven't decided that you don't want the same shit for real.
Oh.
You haven't committed to not wanting the same shit. I started dating somebody that wasn't ordinarily my type because I was sick of dealing with the same shit. I was tired of it.
He was short.
You said what?
He was short.
No, he's not short.
No, she's not a heightist like me.
No, I'm not a heightist at all.
Okay.
I really which I be mad as hell at bitches like Mandii because I'm like, bitch, you 5 foot.
And
easy.
I got my little 6'9"
You could date
giant.
You could date a fine ass 5'9" man and be good.
Why would I?
I'm not looking to the side. I'm only looking up. That's what she said.
That's what she said.
But also, I feel like I have a Napoleon complex, so I got the soul of a 6'4" nigga.
Got it.
It is what it is.
Here's the volume of a 6'4".
Got it.
I am loud too. I mean, aesthetically, I do like the same person. The person that I'm with now is way different from I
don't think he's way different.
Yeah, look,
thank you. I don't think he's way different. Aesthetically, no.
No, aesthetically, no. That's what I said. I still have a physical type. I'm shallow as shit.
He's different because he understands things on a deeper level than most of
because he's older. He got me by almost 20 years.
That's a huge part of it.
But you wouldn't know it experiencing him.
Well, no, also...
He don't feel like, you know...
I mean, I think there's
he does. He feels wise. He feels really wise.
He's
I don't get an old feeling from him. Like,
not old. No. I don't get old like out of touch.
Like,
it's more...
want to go to bed.
It's not old out of touch. It's not washed. It's definitely giving wise. It's like
I get that.
He's older and he's seasoned. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but also open to learning because how I grew up, how I see a relationship is completely different from him. So he's open for change, which I didn't think a lot of older men were into. I walked around believing that you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Oh, 100%. Me too.
You know,
I dated almost everybody that I dated before this partner was younger than me. I was really, I was into the
teacher, bitch.
Listen, I was out here training puppies left and right. Once you teach them not to piss in the house one time, they gonna be all right. They figure it out.
And next thing you know, you're gonna see spot run. Okay?
They do.
You can only train people so much.
I learned my lesson
for sure.
I learned my lesson, and then I got with Clifford the Big Red Dog, and I was like, I don't need to teach you shit. I'm good here.
Right.
Which still isn't true, right? Which I think is still a myth when you date somebody that's older. It is actually, there is still a lot that you have to teach because
you have to teach them.
There's a lot of things that they
unteach, unlearn.
Unlearn.
They have a lot of things to unlearn.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Which in unlearning itself, I believe, as the older I get, is a much harder process. Even watching my mother age is a much harder process than trying to absorb new information.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I don't know if it's impossible. I just think
damn near. It's hard.
Damn near. That mean impossible right here?
Yeah.
It's right here. You know what I'm saying? It's this close to it, Bridget. I'm telling you. You can't, man. That's why so many fucked up people walking around in the world.
Yeah.
You can give a person all the information, all the resources, everything they need. But if they're not motivated, right, to be better or to move differently or yield a different result, they'll never make the change.
You can guide a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it.
Change. And that goes into we're crossing lines now from romantic relationships
to life,
to
family,
to life
friendships,
to life things,
professional relationships, all that.
But that's also because I think a lot of people are more motivated by fear than they realize.
Yeah.
I think more people are scared.
My therapist told me I live in fear, which is why I
you are
work
such a
so
control
hard and
person.
I'm such a I live and operate in fear, and so that's what we've been trying to get out of in terms of walking through my therapy sessions. But my mind goes to the worst case scenario all the time, and she's like, "That's hard. Why do you want to live that way? Why do you want to live thinking of the worst place scenario?" But to me, it's always because
the worst case scenario is the only place where you can plan everything.
I was about to say, you ain't gotta.
That's the only way. That's the only place you can be in order to plan.
Get ready and be ready or something. That's what it is.
You literally just dropped a gem, because when things are the best case scenario, it's such an unknown space, right?
Well, because
that you get uncomfortable.
You get uncomfortable in things going right. Something's gonna happen wrong soon.
Well, because we're so used to a lack of peace that experiencing it, which is, I mean,
which is why we have all this unprotected sex and have these kids that we was just talking about.
Yeah,
what we gonna decide because we just want to feel good. You know what I'm
and
saying?
I ain't gonna hold you.
It's so much calamity.
Now that I've been in a relationship,
I'm
scared to go back to condom sex. What? Oh God, the feeling of it is completely different.
I'm like, you think about the alternative.
Well, that part too. Yeah.
To me, it's the dating. It's the dating and trying to rebuild a connection with someone. That's the part that's terrifying to me. Yeah. Like, you know, even in my partnership now, we go through.
Yes.
What sign are you?
What's your favorite
food? What's your favorite color? What do you like to do on your spare time? I mean, look, he's ready with the answers. I hate that. He said, I really enjoy live music.
No, I know, Dustin, what is your sign?
I'm an Aries.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah. I don't know what that means.
I'm an Aries, bitch.
We're not going to stars and
We're both Aries.
Bridget, give me some.
We both Aries.
I love getting to know people. I love the newness of, new connections.
We love new. We do love new. We're risk takers.
Yeah.
We love that aspect of it. For me, that part in a romantic relationship is not really fun anymore because I've realized that I have been in more situations and gotten to know people that have been so comfortable with my self-awareness that they have gotten lazy in their own self-discovery, and they've rested on that, which to me is a scary place to be, because then that means you think you're being vulnerable because of how vulnerable and transparent and honest I am.
And now I gotta kick your ass out and start all over. Damn.
So now all the self-work that I've done is now falling on essentially deaf ears and blind eyes, because you don't know what this shit looks like for yourself. So you don't even know. You just happy to receive it, whatever it is that I'm giving. That shit is trash. I don't envy anybody that got to date somebody.
Like, I don't want to be no parent, so my desires are different. Same. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a man, so my desires are different.
But I don't want to be a parent as a woman.
I don't want it unless it's like I don't want the connection or the relationship unless it has those natural, organic elements of like passion and just, a willingness to be a part of that, that exists when you into somebody like that. I don't ever want to look at like a list of criteria or a rubric of some sort and like, do they match up to all this stuff? Like, this is a good life partner for me because they check these boxes or whatever. I don't believe in looking for characteristics in somebody. I think you're supposed to encounter a motherfucker, feel that fire, and then you figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
See, I get bored. I get bored if it's just that, though.
Otherwise,
why?
Let me be by myself.
You want some toxicity?
No. I'm saying I get bored if it's just that fire. If it's just passion, I get bored with that because then I don't know.
I need that passion.
Like, in my mind, like, that was why when we were talking about conflict, right? The part that for me in the last year and a half in my relationship where I feel like I've grown is the fact that I stopped viewing every conflict as toxicity and as an opportunity to grow closer. Because it's like, wait a minute, we're not seeing eye to eye on this. Why is that? What's the fundamental difference between how I handle conflict and how you handle conflict? Yeah. And how can we come to a place where we can have a resolution without really compromising who we are?
What made you even think about it that deep and not just say, well, fuck you.
Therapy.
I'm not doing it.
Therapy. But also understanding and learning my own triggers and understanding my own escape mechanisms and my defense mechanisms too.
To me, you have to be motivated by that passion to even think about it that deep. Because I'm not doing no work if I don't give a fuck in the first place.
Well, for me, I don't give a fuck. I love you. I have to already be at that place. Yes.
Then I'm willing to do that self work and use my tools. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what I mean. That's why if it was just the fire, then I'd be like,
the
okay,
got to be lit. Because otherwise, if it's just you being good on, if you
the fire is the passion. The fire is the
why are we
love each other. We are into like
you're saying why are we doing this? You're looking at the passion in a relationship. You put into the notes something that you found on Spiritual World.
Yes.
And that goes into even...
Which I thought was a gospel account. I was so surprised.
Me too. Spiritual Word. I thought Spiritual Word was going to be some motivational shit. Some motivational quotes. Nope. You planted... If I see that...
feel the spirit.
If I see that first thing in the morning, I'm like...
Okay.
I wake up and look at my man like, yo, we might need to discuss this. This shit planted a seed in my brain now. Like, now I'm feeling away. Now I got to side eye you.
They be putting text messages. They be doing all that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read.
Who was the pastor? I'm
gonna read the tweet from the woman, and Bridget's gonna respond with the man. So basically, this is how we essentially, as men and women, get out of relationships in probably not the most healthy way.
Right.
So the woman says, men don't say it's over. They misbehave till you get tired and walk away. It's called constructive breakup. They do this so they can come back and access you whenever they want to. Back to you in the studio. And Bridget, the man said, women give up on relationships 6 months before identifying to the man that there are any problems at all. Pretending everything is fine. And when this information is brought to the light, it is still the man's fault that the relationship has failed. Back to you in the studio. It's crazy because in terms of, I would say actually what the woman said, I feel like we behave that way. I don't think we know, and y'all know, y'all could kill me. When a woman's fed up.
Jesus Christ.
I know I'm not allowed to do it.
She's not allowed to do it.
I know, but I love it. It's literally the song.
Of all the things.
I know. I gotta find another song. But when a woman's fed up, it's true. And to me, we don't really tell a person when we're done. We'll sit here and we know we're done. Our friends know. A lot of times our friends know we're done with a man before he knows we done with him. Just because we talk about it time and time and time and time again. I will say though, in what she's saying as far as men don't say it's over. I agree that men do feel as though they have the access to you forever. Whether they fucked up to the 10,000th degree, they will slide in your email, your DM, your Snapchat.
Oh, 100%.
A year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years later, like, hey, so how's everything going? I'm so proud. I see you doing your thing. And just slide right back in, like, and you can still bounce on this dick if you want to.
I love blocking. I love blocking people.
Blocking doesn't work anymore.
No, a lot of times it does.
Heisman with it.
A lot of times it does. Yeah, it's very much.
How do you block someone in email?
You can block their contact. I had to block a new email. I had an ex-boyfriend that was completely toxic and sociopathic, and emailed me happy birthday from a new email, and I was like, the fuck, the audacity of you,
block
sir.
That one too.
Yeah, block that one too. I was like, add this to the block list. Like, you just don't respond.
I got WhatsApp. I got Signal. I got Telegram.
No.
I got email. I got 3 Instagrams.
To me, it's
a nigga that hit me up on my business Instagram. I'm like, nigga, you don't have a box. Why are you on my official box owner account? I have people that run this. Now they know we
crazy.
fuck. Nigga slid in my official box owner account. Like, so proud of what you've been doing. I'm like, nigga, my social media manager just read that, and she's like, I think this is for you.
Listen, I believe people are gonna shoot their shot. They're gonna take every chance that they have, and as men, we're persistent because it validates our ego and our sense of pride. If a woman or someone that we date,
just whatever the access represents, which
whatever
is crazy.
The access represents, it does. But I don't believe though that I disagree with what she said, which I think that she was just kind of relaying her own experience.
Projection.
Maybe.
I mean, I think they both said the same exact thing.
We don't. Well,
they both said the same exact thing,
right?
Yeah.
I don't believe that. She said that men have this behavior where they act out to try to make you break up with them to make sure that they have continued access to them. Which that I didn't see the connection there. Okay. As a man.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't see how bad behavior grants you access. However, without, I guess, the
tolerating of bad behavior would make you think that you have access.
Or
you know what? I'll be honest too. When as a woman, if you break up, the heartache isn't as much. So you broke up on your own accord. You chose to break up with that person.
Right.
And so therefore, maybe the heartbreak was less because you made the decision to walk away, which means because that was your decision, if he comes back, it's still your decision to let him in. But that heartbreak of you really hating him may not exist because you parted ways. And I feel like that was a little bit of what I experienced with my relationship.
Yeah.
I felt a little more comfortable knowing, well, I ended this so the heartbreak wasn't as tough. If he broke up with me,
that's your ego. Yeah.
My ego was hurt. And so I think that does lend to some truth that as a woman, as long as we're a part of the breakup, maybe now we can still place you in a friend zone. Maybe now we can acknowledge that you just weren't the partner for me, and maybe we can find each other in another space, which is where also as women, we know now we can disconnect from maybe loving you, but if the sex was good, we know that not everyone may please us the way you did. And now there are still women as well. I know men don't like to think. There are women as well that can disconnect emotion 100%. To really just having sex and finding you in a place of, well, I really enjoyed hanging with you. There's a lot of men that I don't like hanging with that I've had sex with, and vice versa. And so,
what's wrong with that though?
No, there's not.
Just fuck them.
Which is what I think. As a woman, when
I don't get it.
With,
like women should be able to just fuck the same way niggas do. Furthermore, women are smarter than men, so I believe everything that he said about women being 6 months ahead of the process. I absolutely know that to be true based on my experience with friends, my experience with my sister, like different things like that. Like I know that that's how women think before you even are aware there's a problem. They've already noticed it, identified it, and your ass find out.
I don't think that's true. I think a lot of men ignore when women say things about stuff being bothersome. And
I know secret keepers. I know some women that was just like peep game and didn't say nothing and just let you do what
which to me is toxic and manipulative as fuck. I'm not that person. I call the shit when I see it. If we gonna be at odds about the shit, then we gonna be at odds. And my man gets annoyed with me sometimes because he'll look at me like how I'm doing all of this. How can you be upset about that? And I'm like, because this is something that's important to me, and I already told your ass. So I'm gonna say it again, and I'm gonna change my tone. The problem is, all of us, men and women, stay in relationships that we have already decided to check out of longer than we should. Men and women, men do it too. Men just experience it differently than women. For us, we're not gonna go 6 months. First of all, I don't know any woman that's willing to sit in a place unhappy for 6 months and never drop a hint.
I do.
Women are passive aggressive.
Don't have sex until after marriage.
No,
women are passive aggressive.
The ones that are dependent financially on their partners.
That's true too. There's a time of preparation.
There's a lot of women,
or
they view their value as being claimed as a wife or a girlfriend. So you know what? Let me not be single because now I may not be deemed as valuable to society because now I'm just a single bitch out here in these streets.
Every woman I know that divorced a man, okay, I'm speaking about divorce specifically.
Yes.
And my personal relationships that I know. Every woman that I know that divorced their husband, A, was rightful in that decision, and B, strategized it.
Of course.
Every single one. They
planned an exit.
They peeped game and said, oh, okay, I know that this is not going to work. So what do I need to do in order to make my exit? And they sat back quiet, okay? Lined up their ducks in a row and got the hell on down the street. Every woman I personally know that made a decision to divorce them. So you clearly
don't personally know Faith Evans.
No, but
Jesus Christ.
I want to be friends with her though.
I do too.
And I just wish, I don't know what happened in that relationship. Again, if y'all don't know, Faith Evans and Stevie J are divorcing, and Stevie J came out and was like, I want spousal support. And probably one of the things I don't care about, but in terms of what you just said, her duckies weren't in a row. Allegedly, there was audio that released. She cheated on him and was caught. Yikes. Which, mind you, women, we don't really
She don't care. That's my point.
She probably was already
Black women don't cheat.
I know that's right. Let's get it there. Black women do not cheat. Can we go ahead and
not high value Black women? We explore. We are optimizing our options.
Oh,
right. Since we're here,
I feel the same way about Black men, so I'm with you. That's how we get down. Black
if we're high value,
Black people.
We're not Black people don't cheat.
We are not doing this. That's it. We are not doing this as a group.
I do want to say though, there is some validity to that, but I think the problem is, with men and women, a lot of people take advantage of, they assume that tolerating certain behavior is accepting that behavior over time versus allowing time and space and opportunity for someone to grow.
Absolutely.
And I think women do that. I think that's really where the strategizing comes from. It's you could be in your brain thinking that it's over and mapping out your exit, simultaneously have the thought that I'm gonna try this again, and I'm gonna tell him about this shit one more time and see if he fucking rises to the occasion.
And
it's insanity, like you said.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Not Chloe waiting on Tristan to grow.
No.
Ain't nothing wrong with giving somebody a chance to do better. As
long as that's communicated though, because if you're not communicating that and you just out here looking and feeling dumb because they keep doing the same stupid ass shit and you keep responding the same way,
are you feeling dumb though if you deciding that that's not a deal breaker for you, and maybe you're not inspired to react that way to the behavior?
Well,
I said about a Chloe, right? I said cheating is clearly not a deal breaker for her.
Well, to me, that's why I say I don't trust people. I trust patterns. Because in my mind,
what if you're okay with the pattern though, Bridget? Like, what if you genuinely don't give a fuck about this nigga? He did what he did. I wish he didn't disrespect our commitment that we had, but I really don't care because I'm really not focused on it, and that's why it keeps happening. Is there something to be said for that? That sort of POV?
I think so, but I also think that still comes from being able to own that. And we're all too egotistical to own when that's the case. That's the problem.
Maybe
and
maybe Chloe ain't. Maybe
a lot of women, a lot of women are okay being dumb. Listen, they just want to be dumb behind closed doors. They don't want to look dumb to everybody else.
We don't even know. They might have a little Will and Jada set up over there.
Maybe it ain't dumb. Maybe this is what they decided.
Listen,
I feel like the Will and Jada thing though initially was a very clear arrangement and understanding of each other's individual space and freedom. That's how that was posed to us very early on, and then shit got messy.
If I agree, and I'm in a non-monogamous relationship.
Yeah. There's still rules to respect though.
There is, but if I'm knowingly allowing my partner to engage with sex in front of me, with me, and also without me, there's also still me understanding the consequences of if something ain't right down there, because I'm allowing him to be with other people.
Right.
If he's able to make a child with someone else, I understand what the full consequences of sex are. I understand that as well. You can't control the feelings of people. And when you're engaged in that unity and the swapping of souls and you engage with someone to that extent, you have to be prepared for the consequences. And so
that's simple.
It's
but that's also why I say I trust the patterns and not the people. Cheating to me is like a lot of women don't care.
Yeah.
A lot of women don't care. That the cheating is not the pattern.
A lot of women don't care until the baby comes.
But to me, that's the pattern. The recklessness of creating children and bringing shit home is the pattern.
Is it reckless?
That's his pattern. That's already his pattern.
Is it reckless when you understand that if a male and a female have sexual intercourse, there's a possibility that a baby.
But that's why I be like, a condom need to be used, and that's not even 100% either.
Vasectomies are not.
Nothing is 100%.
So my thing is this: if you decide to let your nigga fuck other hoes, right, or whatever the fuck, and that happens, has he committed this egregious, wrong against your relationship?
No, or science.
I don't think it's an egregious wrong against the relationship, because we don't know, like Mandii said, we don't know what the relationship is.
It's giving science.
It's giving. And Mandii don't believe in science. And Mandii don't even believe in science. So if Mandii's saying science, it's got to be science.
I wanna ease out of here, because we still got shit we don't care about. Hopefully we can reach TV this week like this. Let's get into music, baby. Go ahead.
We got some freshly squeezed. Yeah, baby. I know my voice is tired from having to talk for 4 days.
We literally potted way too much this last week. For those of y'all listening to us for the very first time, I can hand you mine. To play your music.
Yes.
For those of you listening, possibly to see The Thing Is for the very first time, because you came over here and are obsessed with Dustin.
Yes.
As we all are.
As you should be.
Our Freshly Squeezed segment, we like to, kind of talk about the new music on the charts. A lot of music drops on Fridays. I'm so upset because we're recording this. I know that Lucky Day drops a song today.
Yeah.
And I haven't gotten to hear it, so I'm not going to play it. But one of the songs that I did want to play did include Lucky Day, did also include someone that I mentioned earlier on in this pod. And I do not have Hippity Hop this week on my list, only because I think maybe in going to LA and going to Indy Sean's concert, I'm just in the R&B spirit.
Look at you.
So I do just want to give an honorable mention. SZA just dropped a record called I Hate You.
I love it.
You love it? I have it pulled up, so I could play just a little bit, only because as well, I know the instruments or whatever. Bridget be knowing what shits they be using in the beginning of songs. And the beginning of this song is so different. I don't know if you could tell me what this is.
I mean, it's just a keyboard.
I was like, harmonica. I don't know. It's just different.
It's not a harmonica. It's a synthesizer. Yeah, it's a synth pad. That's all it is.
This song actually got to me. It's so beautiful.
I love this song.
We can play this. You love it? Okay.
I do
too.
too.
Been jamming it.
Let's go.
I can't keep no conflict. Can we just rub it out?
What?
I hear that shit.
What? And I'm going to take care of the aftermath.
Okay. I'm with you on that.
Okay. Heavy on the missing you.
Come on.
What? Here we go. Right here.
Lost in the
light of us. Hey.
She did this. Can I also say how different it sounds for SZA?
I love this.
It sounds different though,
shit.
and I love that she hit us with something different.
Well, I also love the reverb choice on this. Because SZA has a very unique tone. She's a really beautiful tone, and I feel like the right reverb just carries her voice the way that it should. It's very ethereal.
Yeah,
I love this for her. Shout out to SZA.
So my actual freshly squeezed pick for this week came from an artist that has been so quiet and disappeared, and I'm so sad because he's also part of like my sex playlist. Khalid.
Yes.
And he's been gone for quite some time, but I'm glad to see that he is back, and he just dropped a project, Scenic Drive, the tape. And his features on this, first off, he has Alicia Keys in his intro for one, but he has Black, Lucky Day, Quinn, JID. Y'all know how much I love JID, Kiana Lady, which I believe you had as
Kiana Lede. Yes.
I just
love
knew
Kiana
there was a
Lede.
little
I love
thing
Kiana
then.
Lede too.
So fun fact about Kiana Lede. Kiana Lede is managed by Jared Cotter, who is Melanie Fiona's husband.
Oh, small world.
Yeah.
Look at all of that.
Yep.
Majid Jordan is also
love Majid Jordan. Love them. They're
and
great.
Damn, where was he at recently that I missed? Oh, when I was in Vegas, he performed. They performed. It's a duo.
It's a group. Majid Jordan is a duo. Yep.
It's a group. Look,
it's not a non-binary. Dustin, you know what, Dustin? I bang with that. I bang with that.
So what's crazy?
Let me know.
What's crazy is I was sharing
Dustin,
the
are
story.
your pronouns he and him?
Yes, they are.
Yes.
No,
he, him, ho.
But not he, him, ho. That
anyone
over there.
But
you know what's crazy about that? We talked about even the unlearning of things and in just what this new climate is. Yeah. I've been saying, like I was telling Dustin a story about some people I met in LA, and I just kept saying they, and he was like, is that their pronouns? And I said, no, I'm speaking of two people. They is how I learned of people. So when I just said my G Jordan and I said they, he was like, oh, is that the pronouns for
pronouns?
No, it is a duo. It is two people.
I don't want no trouble.
Listen, me neither.
And I don't want no damn trouble.
At the top of the year, I got dragged for not knowing how to quickly unlearn pronouns and using them and they.
It's simple.
Because
but what you want me to call you?
They're pronouns to me in terms of multiple people.
Well, I also
it's been a hard unlearning for me in the space.
Well, it's
where
specifically they them.
Specifically they them,
and
it's a tough ask because on the one hand, you don't want to assume someone's pronouns, but then you're also expected to be familiar enough with it to assume what they should be. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So but I don't buy into all that because I'll just ask you, what's your preferred pronouns?
What's your preferred pronouns?
That's how you clear all that shit up.
Well, yeah, no
guesswork.
No guesswork. No guesswork.
They said, and I'm saying they because they said the way to not mess that up is by just saying my name. But the way a bitch don't remember,
true, that's true too.
But I don't remember names
because we meet so many people.
Rob is in here right here, and I be like, it starts with an R. I really be thinking, Rob, before I say your name.
With him. You just went off on the chair, like you know what I'm saying.
But also, we have a new audio guy this week. And
what's your name?
I said hi,
Courtney.
Boom.
What's your pronouns? There you go.
But see,
that's simple. We ain't got no trouble. Courtney ain't gonna cancel me. We good.
But remembering Courtney, a bitch don't remember that. I went back to the Rolex store and I was
Ask
like,
again.
your name is Jonathan. He said it's Jordan. I said, fuck, I knew it was a J. So again,
yep.
Same issue. But
simple thing to respect people. Just real simple way to make sure you respect people.
I always ask.
Make motherfuckers feel comfortable. That's it. And it's funny. What's your motherfucking pronouns?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you want me to call you, goddamn?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, Kehlani, all respect to her and her relationship, but she just came out and confused the hell out of me because she did have an article recently that said, I want to be identified as she and they.
Then you pick one of the two.
Yeah, but I'm just like,
so is there, but
so I can say he and they because the last time I got checked by someone who wanted to be identified as they, saying she was completely disrespectful.
But think about it, Mandii. They told you they was the word. They didn't say she and they like Kehlani did. And they didn't say he and they. If a motherfucker tell you what something, that's it.
We just
I don't have to figure out beyond that. If you tell me you want me to call you they, I'm not going to also say she. You said they. That's it. You told me your name Bridget, right?
Yeah.
That's your name.
Yeah.
I don't like that for me, at least. That's how it works. I don't have to call you. I don't want to call you shit other than what you told.
Right.
I really don't really want to talk to motherfuckers.
That's where I'm at. I'm just not going to talk to nobody no more. Don't talk to me.
But it don't take nothing from me if you tell me, Mandii, that you go by Plant, You know what I'm saying? Whether I understand it or not, I'm going to call you that because that's what you said. That's it.
You right. All right. Well, my...
You're freshly squeezed. Do you want to play?
Rob, we not finna sit here and do this. You gonna be able to break down in time. I know the time. I'm seeing what we got. Oh shit!
Yeah.
Damn, not us having a.
Oh, we went over.
No,
we don't have the SSD card today.
Oh yeah.
That was why we have capacity. Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to see. Well, I wanted to play real quickly Retrograde featuring Black and Lucky Day. I also want to shout out Lucky Day. He's amazing. We rode the same flight to Vegas, and I got to meet him and his team.
That's dope.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. We got to get him. We got to get him on here. We got to get him on the
No, Lucky, mind you, I was like, Lucky, I don't know if you remember me, but I met you at Joe Budden's pool party, and I tried to take you out to dinner. I literally was drunk and was hitting on Lucky. Like
Mandy said, I'm taking them out.
Right. Them. All of them. She wants all of them.
But then he told me he was on the West Coast and I'm never there. Lucky Day, shout out to you. Shout out to Khalid. And Black. Black, LVRN. Where's the project?
Shout out to Black. Shout out to my girl Quinn. What's up, cousin?
We love Quinn Cat. We love a Quinn Cat, baby. Love it.
I need a project. Y'all, but this is Retrograde.
Yeah.
He sounds so good.
Yes.
Yeah, he does.
He sounds so good. And y'all know I like Black.
Yes.
I love.
His tone is so good, man.
Y'all, this is Retrograde.
Right?
On
like
the
you know it's him when
you know it's him every time.
Yeah.
Khalid too. He's at that place too where I recognize him.
Oh no, his voice is definitely unique.
That.
I guess I'm gonna give you. Who do you have to play this week?
I mean, it's always R&B on this.
Well,
side
we know that. We know that.
Yeah, Blast dropped
He sure did.
a nice little single called About You, which I love, and I think what I'm really enjoying about R&B right now is there's a lot of men in the space.
Yeah, it is.
And there didn't used to be, right? Like there's a ton of men who make really good R&B music, like Giveon, Khalid, like just really Black. I'm so happy that there are so many men that are at the kind of the forefront of the R&B movement right now. And there's women there. I mean, the women are great too. That's not to say we're R&B women, but
we talking about the niggas.
We talking about the men, the R&B crooners and swooners. Like, I miss that. You know what I mean? The Luke James, the Ro James. Like, I love BJ the Chicago Kid. Like, just always making really incredible love music. I call it love music.
BJ
it's love music.
Chicago Kids music.
I do too. And Blast dropped a single called About You, and I wanted to play it because I just think it's great.
Come on, Blast.
Yeah. Because we don't get to hear men talk about this type of shit. Listen to what he's saying.
Come on.
That sample.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Faded Pictures. That's Faded Pictures.
Yeah.
Faded Pictures.
Yep.
I just
The
caught
sample,
it.
yep.
Oh, yeah. You picked up on the sample? Come on.
Yeah. Yes, Dustin.
Hey.
I'm forever up. For whatever comes.
No, I'm not. I'm not sticking around for whatever comes, actually.
And if you don't believe me, rewind the conversation.
No, I'm not. I'm not the ride or die. No. Bye.
See ya.
The fuck out of here.
The best I can do is pay your storage bill, nigga. I put shit in
No, but I love this. He's literally saying, like, I'm about you. It's just not how I express it is different than I'm not afraid to say it's about you. I just express it differently. And I love that because I feel like that's the place my boyfriend and I get to all the time. His love language is totally fucking different than me. So we always gotta like find a way around like getting to that place because what he thinks the sentiment is the same, the expression is not.
Yeah.
So like sometimes we'll miss each other because how I've received something is not. I'm not thinking that it's that deep. Same. But it's like, yo, you went out of your way. Like I was upset because I landed and I was so hyped to see him. Right. I was like, yo, I can't wait. I was exhausted. Right. We worked so hard in LA.
Yeah.
And I landed after getting off a red-eye flight. And he had gotten up at like 7. He's very prompt. Him and Mandii are probably the only people I know that be on fucking
she get up. She
time.
get the fuck up.
So he was up. He got up super early and literally was at the airport when I landed, which I was like, this is dumb because it's Delta. So you know it's a 3-mile walk to get from the gate
A to B
to the baggage claim.
JFK.
And then, like JFK, it's ridiculous. And so it took me almost 45 minutes to get out of the airport. Once we landed, I had to get my bag at baggage claim and then walk outside. And he was just so like I could see it in his face. He was tired. He was just not in the mood. He didn't even want to hug me. Like that's how tired he was. And usually, like in moments like that, I see it. It's not about me. I don't take it personal.
Nasty than a motherfucker.
Hell yeah, you gotta drive around. You're right. You gotta drive around multiple times. But really, all I wanted and needed in that moment was to be hugged. Like, just hug me. Because we'll text each other all day. Like, I miss you. I can't wait till you get home. I can't wait till you get home. And then I see you and the energy don't match. Like, now it feels like you don't miss me.
Do you know that was my, girl, I had that whole, I wouldn't say argument.
It was just.
But he was like, do you want me to be pressed? Do you want, and I was like, it's not about being pressed. Like, I'm back and I've been gone for almost a week. Nigga, I need some excitement that I'm back home. And the fact that our plans are now 2 or 3 days after I come back from an almost week trip.
Yeah. That feels weird.
I don't need you to be pressed. I don't need you to be obsessed. But a part of me wants to feel like the excitement is that we're back in the same city. And if you're not picking me up from the airport, I need you to want to see me tonight.
Right.
Not Tuesday when I land on Sunday.
Right.
Like,
I mean.
I feel her because then
don't do that. Here go man.
Right. Because then
I love you, bitch.
And let me tell you, in my man's defense, he had an attitude. He had an attitude because he was trying to surprise me with a Christmas tree before I got home. And he didn't get a chance to do it. And so he was irritated because he was like, this is what I was trying to do so that you knew how much I was thinking about you.
That's how you love Christmas.
And I love Christmas. Yeah. And he don't love Christmas like that. But so he was trying to find. So he was trying to, so in his mind, he was like, yo, you upset that I didn't fucking embrace you and kiss you and jump all over you like a puppy when you landed. But this is really what I was trying to do that I didn't get a chance to do. So it's just, that's why I love that song, because I feel like Blast gets it. It's like, yo, sometimes.
I don't get it. Y'all niggas confusing.
Sometimes the things that we think are fucking simple and easy are not that easy for men. Yeah. And vice versa. Like men think a lot of shit is easy for women because we make it look effortless. Yeah. Like you don't know how heavy the bag is that I'm carrying just because it looks like I know how to carry a bag.
That's real.
So in that regard, I just think for men and women, we got to be a little more forgiving in that space.
Well, I feel like such a dumb man because I picked a meaningless rap song. You know what I'm saying? This week.
No, let's get into rap.
I wish I would have been in touch.
Normally I play rap,
but this the jam.
No, it is the jam. I know what you're playing.
So this is Mandii, you got to unlock for me, baby. But this is a new song. Rick Ross got a new album coming out.
Yes,
Richer
I'm
Than
hyped.
I Ever Been, I think is what it's called.
You know what? And shout out to Rick Ross, always manifesting riches. Everything is Yeah,
let that shit right. You can fast forward a little bit because it's a drug dealer talking at the beginning, which is necessary information. But the beat is what
it's not pertinent for us, though.
In context of this conversation.
I might need to learn some things.
Okay, you're not going back to that. You're not going back to that life.
I'm not.
But this beat hard as fuck though.
No, it is.
Boy Wonder did his thing on this beat.
This is strings. Dun, 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 dun.
And you know what, Bridget? Strings draw me in every single time.
Strings and brass. Strings and horns are for me. Yeah. Yeah, it's the strings and the horns. If there's brass, there's trumpets. I'm with it. I'm there.
As the song progresses, the beat, grows and evolves into something better. Like I said, Boy Wonder did his thing. Like Rick Ross rides the beat. It's just great rap music. And the Dream is singing his ass off at the end. Like it's
shout out
great.
to the Dream. Yeah. I need some new music from him.
You do.
I need some new Dream music. I'm not gonna hold you.
We do. We all need music from the Dream. Like the Dream is great. But yeah, that's my pick this week. Little Havana. Fuck with it. Fuck with it. Hopefully your weave smell like weed smoke. You know what I'm saying? The car smelling good, riding right. That's for all y'all with suspended licenses driving. Listen to this. Turn that shit up right now.
Yeah. Rick Ross, and shout out to Rick Ross.
Yes. Shout out to
this,
Rose.
by the way, guys, is Little Havana with Willie Falcon and the Dream.
Yep.
You know, I
Rick Ross always picks good tracks.
Does.
He always picks good music.
That's one of his strengths.
He's really good.
I agree.
His beat selection,
he's really good. I actually played him maybe last week or 2 weeks ago with him and Jasmine Sullivan. So I'm really looking forward to this project.
Me too.
That he's
church
dropping.
Usher gloves and all. Y'all see on the cover he got them Usher gloves on.
Listen, I don't know what he thought he was
white
doing.
gloves. He was doing just like this. I was like, go ahead, Rick.
Yep.
I guess really quickly. Rob, how many minutes we got?
Okay.
Oh, I love it.
It ain't no phone charger around here, guys.
Yes.
Plug me up, Mandii Love, please. And leave that in the show because we real. Let people know we need to charge our phone.
Yeah, listen, I showed up today with my laptop dead and I'm pissed as fuck because I plugged it in last night. You know, you feel responsible plugging your shit in and then you realize the whole time the shit wasn't in the fucking outlet. Yeah, that's me today.
So fast.
What? I was ready to throw this shit back in the bag. Like, never mind.
Said, I know the fuck.
I was so irritated because I don't be responsible. So when I do be responsible in those moments, and I feel like I'd want to give myself flowers and I can't.
I felt that in my soul, fellow Aries.
Yeah,
I felt that in my soul.
We love chaos. We thrive on chaos. Some organized chaos, but chaos nonetheless.
Organized chaos.
Yeah,
I hate you both.
Just let me move it around a little bit. It can be chaotic.
I hate chaos.
Just let me organize.
I hate chaos.
I wanted orderly ass friend.
I wanted to close out this show with things we don't care about. Only just so each of us can really end on the things we don't care about. And I know we normally have things to say about the shit we don't care about. Me specifically, I love, when we hop on the pod and we just be talking about food out here. And I don't know what the fuck is happening after the panorama. Panera Bread took everything from us, including apparently chicken tenders. So I actually wanted to talk about the shortage and possible extinction of chicken tenders worldwide. I want to talk about this because...
Why are we like this in America?
Well, I'm actually excited. No, this is worldwide. This is a worldwide shortage.
I know, but no one else consumes chicken tenders the way Americans do.
Well, I wanted to talk...
I feel like we invented chicken tenders.
I feel like we did too.
Well, and this is my problem. I'm so glad that now y'all can eat like adults out here because a bitch don't like that y'all even order chicken tenders past the age of 4.
What y'all get next? Fish sticks?
I don't like it. I wanted to tell y'all because here's the thing.
I have not seen fish sticks on a menu in dumb long.
Because they're disgusting.
Grow the fuck up.
That part, it's fucking gross. But also, I'm like, wait, we know what what happened last year with the chicken sandwich, but I was like,
I was in line.
Look, me too. I ain't gonna hold you. The shit was good.
The shit was juicy.
The shit was good. But I'm
you
sitting
talking
here
about
like
some tender chicken. That Popeye's chicken sandwich, the first batch. Now that second batch,
I don't know what they did to it. They added the clone.
But the first batch, we was in line.
That was some clone chicken after that.
Yeah, the first batch, the chicken was tender. The second batch, it was aggressive. Yeah. There's nothing tender about that chicken.
But also, I'm trying to figure out because
it was not tender at all. It was very aggressive. The size was aggressive. I was like,
But I'm also
thinking, harsh chicken. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well,
it's giving steroids. It's giving hormones.
I mean,
abusive chicken.
Apparently churches.
Chicken.
Churches, they have 2 heads on the chickens or something because they're like all like man-made chickens or something like that. You heard about that?
Got BBLs at churches. I ain't never seen them. The chickens was switching into the coop. I said, God damn,
twerking their ass into the fryer. Yeah. But I was thinking, I was like, okay, chicken tenders. I'm like, wait. Chicken titties is about to be extinct.
Right, that's the breast meat. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Because the titties ain't going extinct. Chickens still got titties out here, just like the ass and the thighs, and they got everything.
Maybe the chickens is trans now. They over it.
But they got titties too, depending on which way they trans.
They might be trans. They might be trans outside of the titty, and that's totally okay.
Let me tell you,
I'm okay for the non-binary chicken.
Let me tell you how it's going extinct.
Because them thighs gonna thigh either way.
The thighs gonna thigh either way. The flats, the wings gonna wing. The flats gonna flat.
They are. And them drums got boom boom. I'm telling you.
But y'all lying. The thighs ain't gonna thigh with a BBL because we see them thighs don't be matching.
Nah, the thighs don't be matching.
The thighs don't be matching when it's natural.
The thighs don't be matching.
The thighs don't be thigh.
That's okay. We can. There's not gonna be hopefully not gonna be a shortage of natural thighs.
Well, no, if I get on the plane and see a chicken in a wheelchair, I'm telling you now, I know something. Okay, coming from the DI.
If you guys want to understand how the extinction is possible, it is a supply chain issue that happened during the pandemic, which means that they are expecting the higher prices for grocery stores and restaurants to pretty much just not being able to afford it. It says the price of a value pack of chicken tenders has gone up nearly $1 per pound since last year. And they also get into actually as well the making of it.
That's why I go
just
to
becoming
work
too
to be able to
expensive.
afford that extra dollar. I'm gonna
You know,
eat some chicken.
I know
I'm
that's
just gonna
right.
tell you. That's why I work every day. You know, because I want some chicken. I'm gonna enjoy chicken.
But I ain't gonna hold you. I need wings.
Yep.
Give me wings.
I know how. I don't cook because I never have time, but I love cook. I fuck with your grandmama on the holiday.
Really?
Like, hell yeah, I can lay it out. Yes, well, my mother taught me and I have 2 sisters and a brother.
Yeah,
and my both my parents cook, but my mother made sure me and my brother knew how to cook. Yeah.
What's your favorite thing to cook?
Everything, greens, macaroni and cheese,
oodles and noodles,
pot roast,
oodles and noodles.
Mandii capping, Mandii cook too.
But I do
be throwing down.
Mandii be throwing down.
Mandii cook, but she be throwing down.
I do love my fresh direct. This is not an ad, but baby, give me my kit. Give me my little meal kit.
Because we ain't got no time.
I don't.
No, she doesn't.
But also, I noticed the way I travel, food goes bad. So I love the little meal kits where it's just
You're
enough.
not over purchasing, wasting
She'll
food.
buy what
wasting food. I buy what I need.
Yeah.
I like wings.
I have a hard time wasting food. Like,
I do too.
You know,
I struggle wasting food. I'm not even gonna hold you.
I be feeling it in my soul.
We froze Thanksgiving leftovers and had some yesterday.
Look,
I'm not even
it's been a whole week and a half.
We took it out the freezer and we were like, we froze it. We took it out the freezer and I was like, no, I won't waste it.
Now that we have this shortage on chicken tenders, I'm looking forward to maybe y'all really enjoying chicken gizzards more. I love chicken gizzards. My mama loves the livers. We do chicken livers.
I eat thighs, legs.
But you do the gizzards too?
The breast has always been the driest part of the chicken for me, so it's never been my favorite.
Y'all can have that.
I like it in certain things.
I like my meat dark,
leg and thigh, baby.
Give it to me.
I'm good on the.
What is some shit that you didn't care about this week, Bridget?
I didn't care about the Tristan shit. I will say that.
Well, we already talked about it, so give us something else.
Damn, what else don't I care about?
I mean, we cared about a few topics that we couldn't get to today. Hopefully, we can talk about Cuomo next week.
I
don't care about that.
Okay, there we go.
I'm just gonna keep it real. Like, to
me,
like, I understand. I love my brother more than I love my own life, and I will literally lay my life on the line for my brother. And I believe that is the one thing, Mandii. You know how importantly I take my professionalism. You know what I'm saying? I'll be on time for shit. Like, work is very important to me, but that is one thing that would make me jeopardize or risk my journalistic integrity.
Is like that family comes first? Like, family comes first.
You do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sick of that conversation.
I'm just sad because I wish that it would have been handled differently so that he could still report, because he was such a pivotal, prominent part
of podcast
of
he
CNN.
about to get a podcast and be fine.
I know, but I liked the fact that, especially over the last few years, when journalism has kind of taken a turn for the worst and everybody's been kind of tiptoeing around and walking on eggshells around certain shit when it comes to race relations, when it comes to sexism, when it comes to just the overall quality of life and the economics of America. Chris Cuomo was one of the few journalists that really challenged people when they would come on and correspond with him and would be like, no, that's not actually true. That's a lie. You're president. And he would say it that way. You know what I mean? And that's the part for me that's sad, is because we don't have a lot of
those voices.
A lot of people that are very direct in wanting to keep the integrity of the journalism alive by really speaking truth, right? We've gotten in this kind of hamster wheel of regurgitating information and not actually talking about facts. Yeah. And I feel like for a news outlet like CNN, he was a power player. But
I agree.
But I mean, I don't disagree with what he did. I would have done, I think we all would have done the same for at least one person.
What I hate is that any of this is connected to any sort of like sexual harassment allegation.
That part.
Because that'd be a full stop for me. So while I understand and identify with like the loyalty shit,
right?
It's just that's where the gray area exists for me, where it's like, damn. Like,
well, the part that was tricky, which in some of the news articles about it that I've read, when they hired someone to investigate, they were hiring somebody to investigate the capacity in which he was advising, right? So it's one thing to be like, yeah, I'm gonna give my brother all the advice possible around this shit. But he was on a call, like an official call, strategy call, with lawyers, with other correspondents and consultants, with the governor's entire staff, which at that point, you're corresponding on a professional level.
Absolutely.
And so you're not just representing yourself, you're also representing CNN. And that's where the pivot occurred. That's why I say I wish it would have been handled differently, because had it just been like, yo, y'all sitting over Sunday dinner and y'all talking about the shit you need to talk about at Sunday dinner.
Right.
You're not on an official strategy call as a consultant. Like, you just talking to your brother one-on-one. Like, yo, bro, this might have been a step. You might have taken this shit a step too far. We don't know what the advice was that was given.
And at that point, when you are a part of those official strategy meetings and shit like that, you have now crossed, CNN's hands are tied at that point.
You crossed the threshold.
Right. It's breach of contract.
It's a conflict. It's a conflict.
So, and I think he knew that, like you said.
And it was working to him.
Yeah.
it would have been worth it to any one of us. I feel that way.
Right. So it just is what it is. But I hate to see it. Yeah, I hate to see that. So
right.
Yeah.
Well, Dustin, as we close,
I've been waiting so long to be here. I'm so happy
we've waited so long.
Like Harriet Tubman grabbed my hand and led me through the door. Finally, I done made it to the motherfucking the promised land.
The thing is,
yes,
we had to make it out and free ourselves first, and then
I saw the thing back then. That's why I told Mandy I see it. So until I don't see it.
But you know what? I respect the fact that from your standpoint, you were firm in wanting to make it a point to be here when it was time.
When it was time.
But I bang with that. I do. I will always love that. I love that you were like, you know what? Whenever y'all get yourself situated, I'm pulling up. We gonna chat.
I couldn't wait. They was holding me back. I was trying to bust in.
I know.
I was waiting on y'all to get it. So
I'm super happy. Let everyone know where they can find you and follow you. Y'all know how we getting out of here.
Course.
But go ahead.
You can find me on.
That's loud.
You can find me on everything at Look at Dustin. So just look at Dustin.
Just look at him. He's so cute. He's smart.
That's you can listen to me on everywhere podcasts are heard. You can hear the Friend Zone podcast every Wednesday.
Yes.
You can hear Holding Court. We are coming back soon, so that's
I'd love to hear that.
Check that out. You can also just follow my Instagram. That's literally my living resume.
He was corresponding for Revolt, for BET. We love it. We love to see it.
Shout out to Revolt Black News. Shout out to BET, Soul Train, all these people that show me love. I just want to work. Yeah. That's all. Just talk to people, make everybody feel good. So I look forward to opportunities like this to be able to do that. So thank you.
Thank you for joining us. And guys, if you haven't yet, make sure you join us on Patreon.
Yes.
That's patreon.com/See the Thing Is Pod. We have multiple segments over there. We do have Friends with Benefits that join us, but we also have our Make It Make Sense segment, as well as Freshly Squeezed.
We got some good shit coming for y'all on Patreon,
we really worked hard out there in LA. So
they was cooking, y'all.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to y'all.
It was just, it was just the intro, the precursor to what's to come.
Yeah,
I'm so proud of y'all. Y'all did the damn thing. Y'all gonna keep doing the damn thing.
Thank you.
They don't have no choice but to see what the damn thing is.
Hello.
That's it.
And I'm gonna come in on my Christmas shit next week because I've been keeping it mild for y'all. I've been toning that shit down. But next week, a bitch is coming in for Christmas.
Yo, we talking about Christmas next week. All right. Well, thank you guys. Again, have fun at your jobs.
Yes.
Enjoy the rest of your day, your week.
Bless your holidays, your weekends, your week, your friends, your family.
Right. Eat too mama tambien.
Yeah. Bitch, you doing a good job. You doing a good job. Bitch, you doing a good job.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
See y'all next week.